Yes, Bruce is back, along with former guitarist Adrian Smith. It's a marketing man's wet dream once Bruce does something about his hair.
It's what the fans have wanted for such a long time. It's going to be a resurgence. That band are going to be unbeatable.
Hello! And welcome to this much anticipated episode of
Man Factor. Oh my god, we have just had the world's best conversation about 2024 and our hopes for 2025, and then what do? We go and we just flip it back a quarter of a century and we decide to talk about the end of the 20th, Andy.
Yes, we're about to discuss the resurgence of Iron Maiden. Probably the greatest reunion, the greatest comeback, the greatest. And I know some people, including maybe some band members, aren't so keen on it being termed like that. But let's face it, that's what everyone calls it. It is a resurgence.
It's a resurgence.
A reunion. We'll call it the resurgence.
We're just going to call this series, which is obviously what this is going to become, the Resurgence series.
It's the return of Bruce Dickinson.
Yep.
And Adrian Smith to the Maiden fold, and the build up, how that happening, and the build up to Brave New World and Brave New World, a review. So you've got all that ahead of you.
In vintage F Factor style, we haven't really discussed this at all. We just literally had 2 minutes there laughing about the fact that we may be here for the next 5 years talking about Brave New World and the Resurgence.
But we'll just go through it chronologically.
We'll see how we go. We might cut this into 2 separate episodes. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. But anyway, so when we last left Maiden
was Virtual 11.
Yes. And did we talk about the tour? It was donkeys ago.
You can check out the Virtual 11.
It was about a year and a half ago we did that episode.
The Virtual 11 album we reviewed, and obviously there's a Virtual 11 World Tour.
Yep.
And it finishes in December 1998. Yes. Yes.
There's been a lot of speculation about that tour.
Yeah.
Relationships, and with the benefit of hindsight, I suppose, in a quarter century from that to now, I suppose people's attitudes may have softened towards their experiences in that tour, but it's safe to say that that tour was not up to the usual very high standard
don't think
that we come to expect from our classic lineup Maiden era.
Don't think that tour probably went according to plan for the band.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that is safe to say. So we're talking about the departure of Blaze here. I think it's well documented on this channel that we are big fans of Blaze.
Yep. Massive. Huge.
He was kind enough to chat to us. Episode is on there. When he was playing with his solo outfit.
Absolva.
The lads from Absolva and stuff. Brilliant gig. He was playing here in Belfast, and he's kind enough to give us some of his time. And he's just brilliant. Great vocalist.
Great live performer.
Yep. And I think, though that tour did not go according to plan, I remember at the time the tour seemingly being cut short, if memory serves. I remember me thinking, "Oh, that's a bit."
Well, they never came to Belfast.
They never played here.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they played Dublin.
I don't think they did. No.
But yeah, if you think about it, Virtual 11 came out in 1998. March, was it?
Yep.
And the tour was over.
Yeah. So there was
by the end of 1998.
That's it. So
it's pretty short by Iron Maiden standards.
And venues at the time, we've talked at length about metal and where its position was in the late 90s and things like that, but venues that were hitting in America, they were hitting like 2,000 seat venues, places like that.
it was probably a nadir. Is that the right word? A low point
Yeah.
for them in the States.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, better further south they went. There's some good
Yeah.
footage of Is it where's the gig? Buenos Aires.
Uh,
There's a live concert anyway.
in South America, the
It's on
Blaze
YouTube.
Bailey era was pretty well received, actually. Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that we kind of, I mean, here in the, you know, in the UK, I suppose it's a bit of a different feel musically, and probably then you've got certain areas of Europe of different feels,
Yeah.
and then you've got North America, South America, etc., and I suppose other areas of the world where maybe different albums were received in different ways. Is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say.
We're just
yeah.
before the next generation's acceptance and celebration of Maiden.
Yeah, and then not. Yeah, things hadn't maybe
Things
been
are,
going,
you know, I'm
going
thinking
well.
like the Sum 41s of the world, or
Yeah.
Papa Roach or whatever. You know, you're talking a good 18 months before all that.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
You know,
That's true.
it's just a
So-
victim of their time, and that's the way things were, and that's the way things went. And at the end of this December tour, Blaze does talk an awful lot about. There was a gig that they did, and there was no encore.
Mhm.
I think it was their last gig of the tour.
Yeah. He said he had a feeling something wasn't quite right,
yeah.
but he didn't think it was that. But yeah,
And there was always criticism, I suppose, of the fact that Blaze did struggle with some of the song choices in the set list. What be that with the speed or the fact that they wouldn't tune down to accommodate his
strange
voice.
set list as
Yeah.
well. You know, and I look at it, I kind of think, is it really the right? You know,
Yeah,
I think
like,
they should have chose more Diano era stuff for Blaze.
absolutely.
But
yeah,
we shouldn't.
it's
Yeah, I think we
it's actually in ancient history now. You're all looking
Yeah.
at secondary
Yeah.
sources now. It's very hard to get.
hard to get, but the decision's made
Yeah.
that Blaze is leaving. I think that's
So-
kind of what happens.
And this is something which is quite interesting. There was a this was just on This was just on my research list, another podcast. Can't remember what podcast it was. Might have been Talking Maiden, which is brilliant. But they had said that there was a web post. It was about March '99, just before Virtual 11 came out, saying that there was a
March
rumor mill.
98.
98, saying that there was a rumor mill going that Adrian Smith and Bruce Dickinson were coming back to Maiden, and they were unequivocally denying that. That was about a year beforehand.
So
This is
who knows when
Yeah.
when the idea
Yeah.
was floated? You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Such is the strength of the Chemical Wedding. I don't know. I think, yeah, that it's too hard to ignore. However, something
Yeah.
that we shouldn't forget here is that Steve wasn't really up for Bruce coming back to the band.
No.
So I think my reading of it is that, you know, and Steve Harris has said, well, it was decided that Blaze was leaving the band. That was the first thing.
yeah,
It wasn't the case of, you know, we decided Bruce was coming back. Blaze was leaving the band.
uh-huh.
So that was the decision. And Steve wasn't keen on the idea of Bruce coming back. He said he wasn't really having it.
Right.
It was Rod Smallwood who suggested it.
Okay.
And
Sanctuary
Steve,
Management's the same. Yeah.
Ari Aris wasn't.
Where have you got that from? Because I've heard something quite different.
A louder sound.
Right.
Steve saying it himself.
So,
Wasn't that keen on
but
it.
I'd heard when Blaze was leaving, he knew they'd said that Bruce was coming back.
No. Well, Rod was floating the idea to Bruce, and I think Rod Smallwood was trying to do this
Yeah,
And-
this is what happens. You see, the
Yeah.
internet's a bollocks too.
and trying to get. But Steve had decided Blaze had to leave.
Okay,
So then it was a case of, right, what do they do?
I think that's pretty much
Right,
a
and-
given.
Rod's probably going, right, Blaze is leaving Bruce, and he's probably saw the opportunity. You know,
Yeah.
Bruce is back to a metal again. Him and Adrian are working
Power
together.
album.
They're sounding great. And
Superb
so
album.
as a band's manager, he's probably thought, right, can I get the classic lineup back together? You know, there's only a couple of options. It's that
Yeah.
or they get someone else and try again. You know,
So-
which given where they were at, you know, I don't know. But Steve wasn't that keen. I think Bruce has said back and forth and stuff like that in his biography.
Yeah,
There was back and forth, and he kind of, I'm paraphrasing here, but
Yeah, that's
he,
fine.
he said things such as he found the whole kind of tap dance around the managerial tap dance and stuff backward and forward and messages and all rather amusing, and eventually the meet occurred between Steve and himself, and Steve was very suspicious
Yeah.
and pretty much give it the, you know, why do you want to come back? You
Yeah.
know, and,
Grand.
and Bruce said, well, because I think we can make amazing music.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, that's it. You
Um,
know, it's whatchamacallit, it's
I think he had to convince him a little bit, you know,
There-
that he was coming back for the right reasons, and
what
he's coming
about
back for
this
the long
meeting? No,
haul.
what
and all
about
this.
this meeting?
So the meeting between Bruce and Steve.
The meeting that either happened in somebody's house or somebody's office. Again, it's like being Columbo trying to work out just the facts.
So
when did this happen?
Conflicting stories because someone's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Steve's gaff, maybe,
what does this?
of the barnyard.
Well, and what does this button do?
Uh-huh.
He says it was a cafe, shitty place in Brighton.
Aye, right, that's right.
So
That's right,
a type of place where Bruce said neither of us would usually be seen dead.
Yep.
But yeah, and Rod's pacing around, and
Yeah.
he said, you know, Bruce said, found it quite humorous that, you know, millions of people care about Iron Maiden, and there's these guys in their late 40s sitting in a crappy little place,
Yeah.
casually
Playing beans.
chatting about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
planning and chatting about this future. So,
So that meeting, wherever it happened, was quite cordial and not the
I think,
scenery chewing fest that maybe both parties expected it to be.
yeah, my reading of it would be that Steve was very suspicious and worried that, well, what happens if he comes back, does something and leaves again?
Okay.
You know,
Right.
is
Yeah,
this just
fair
coming
enough.
back for, you know, a bit
It's
of
really
nostalgia or
tricky though,
something?
isn't it?
You know, but Bruce was like giving it the,
I think that both probably didn't. I'm pretty sure both of them didn't want to have a nostalgia trip.
yeah,
They wanted to go back. If they were going to go back, they were going to be better than what they were
going to be
before.
back in it and be better. And I also get the impression that the other two things I think are important here is that, much like the first time he joined Maiden, Bruce knew he had the gig.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bruce is so confident.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it wouldn't be with him if that's not what they were talking about. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think and it also say is he didn't. I mean, he says in his book he was initially a little bit initially unsure when Rod floated it to him about whether he actually wanted to, because he thought, I've done so much with, I'm in such a good place with my solo band.
Absolutely.
After going through
Yeah.
such a lot, learning, you know, such a journey.
Yep.
You think on it from
Success, failure. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
through
Yeah.
the whole Skunk Works
Yep.
thing and all that, and
Yep.
to get to the place he had with Chemical Wedding, you know,
Being a really intensely good,
Brilliant.
well written, well produced metal album. Yeah.
you know,
Review
and
below. It's fucking awesome.
it's a brilliant album and
Best
critical
album of the
acclaim.
90s.
But yeah, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, it would have been the best. It's the best record he knew that he had made in a long
Yeah.
time.
Ah, yeah,
Your
yeah,
best
yeah.
record he
That's
made since
fair
Seventh
enough.
Son of a Seventh Son.
God, I.
You know, which, you know, is you know, over a decade.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, more than that.
I think he says part of him was like, I don't want to give up, but it was Royce and the rest of the
I
band that
encourage
said
them. Yeah.
the world needs
And
Iron
that's
Maiden,
what Blaze.
you know?
That's what Blaze says as well.
Yeah.
In any of the retrospective interviews, it's the world needs Iron Maiden, and if
needs
it's not,
Maiden.
if it's without him, then so be it.
So
Yeah.
that kind of made him go, right, okay.
Yeah.
But I think Bruce said to Steve, well, it's not a nostalgia trip. This is about, you know, we need to make a great record.
Yeah.
And I'm in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
And that, I guess there was probably also potentially some home truths maybe told that we'll never really hear about.
Like we're not recording an album in your barn.
Like we're not recording an album in your barn anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be
Yeah.
with a producer. It has
Yeah.
to be, you know, I cannot believe for the life of me that Bruce would have came back without that as a
Oh,
guarantee.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, because let's face it, that's why
Well,
both him and Adrian
If you
left.
look at it,
you know,
if you were Bruce and I was Harry, right? Here's what I'm looking for: continuity, chance to build upon a legacy, but create new stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
and a guarantee that it's not a one and done, and it's going to be fuck you, I'm out the door again.
yeah.
So you're Bruce. You're looking for a bigger audience, the chance to have more of a say in the creative process,
Wants to make a, yeah.
and
He wants to be the best again.
bring H back.
Bring Adrian back. Bring Adrian back. He wants, yeah,
Yeah.
Wants to be the best.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing is that they'd sold something to do with their back catalogue or something had all been sold, and they all got a really big pay deal before this happened. All the band members.
Right.
Saw an
Okay.
interview with it was Dave, Adrian, and Bruce. And
Okay.
Bruce started saying this, you know. So it's like, and we all got a big cut, we got a lot of money, and I asked my representative, what happens if I don't join the band again and I just sit at home on my arse and do nothing? He says, well, you still get the money. Right, okay. So this isn't about some payday
Okay.
thing.
Yeah.
That was his point. It's not about that,
Okay.
because
No.
the payday part of things was already
respect that.
done separately.
Yeah.
Never mind this.
That's interesting.
The
Yeah.
reason we're doing this, it's for the right reasons. It's to make a blinding record. It's to be the best again.
Yeah.
You know. So we'll never know what went on in those discussions.
That's it.
but
We can talk about
that's
this
kind
for
of
the
it.
next hour and a half and not get a definitive answer.
So we'll not. We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Blaze got the goodbye.
Yeah.
January '99, I think, just
Yeah.
after Christmas.
Yeah.
And in his own words, he got a huge payday. He was very well looked after.
A good golden
Yeah.
handshake, as you would call it.
So, and there's no, and continues to be, no hard feelings regarding that.
He's a member of the Iron Maiden family, and he always will be.
Fucking A.
You know, and I think Blaze deserves a lot of thanks. Steve said very recently, actually, that we owe Blaze because
Yeah.
he kept the band going.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and he did. You know,
there is DNA on which we'll get to in their Brave New York. There's DNA there.
yeah,
Absolutely.
There is.
Has to be.
But anyway, Maiden are then back. It's the kind of news that we all wanted, I suppose, to hear.
But we never
Um,
thought we would.
Never
That's the
thought we'd
thing.
hear it. It was quite a bad fallout, wasn't it? And and there you go. They're back, and they announced the Ed Hunter tour, which kicks off in July '99 in Canada.
St. John. Yep.
And makes its way across various places in the world to Greece in October. I actually was lucky
Sorry,
enough.
you're just skirting over the fact that you were there in Paris.
I'm about to say.
Oh, sorry. Grant, sorry.
I was lucky. I was just about to say it. I was
Here's some
lucky
oral
enough
history for you, folks.
to catch them in Paris on the 9th of the 9th, 99.
And
The
here's
first,
the t-shirt to prove it.
no, I don't anymore. So I
There's
don't.
a story there.
Yeah, there is. I'll tell you off camera.
off air.
Yeah. That was the first European date.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was absolutely fantastic gig.
Sure.
Absolutely amazing.
Omnisport de Bercy.
Yeah, it was, which is a really, really cool venue. It's like underground. So when you approach the thing, it's like this grass kind of a pyramidy thing that then goes up
Like
like
an
this.
amphitheater sort of thing.
But actually, the stadium's like a bowl under.
God.
It's
Right.
a weird thing. Yeah. Yeah. Google it. I suppose
Cool.
it's quite
Yeah.
cool looking stadium. But yeah, brilliant set list. It was voted for obviously for the Ed Hunter game that was coming out.
That's right. They had a video game.
In a video game, and the set
How
list.
forward bloody thinking.
Yeah. The set list is as follows:
Yep.
Churchill Speech,
Beach.
Aces High,
Lovely.
Wrathchild, Trooper,
Yep.
2 Minutes to Midnight, The Klansman, Wasted Years, Killers, Future Real,
Jesus
Man on the Edge, Power Slave, Phantom of the Opera, Evil Let Men Do, Fear of the Dark, Iron Maiden, Encore, Number of the Beast, Hollow Billenium, Run to the Hills. And that is a set list.
If you paid money to see that today, you'd be delighted.
Yeah.
Really good. And brilliant representation of the
The back catalogue at that time.
yes.
You know?
And nod the Blaze era.
Yeah.
With
yeah.
the absolute dingers. All three.
Yeah.
Clansman, Class,
Future Real.
Future Real, Man on the
and
Edge.
Man
Yep.
on the Edge. You
Both
know?
available as B-sides.
Yep.
Coming up. We'll talk about that maybe very briefly. But sounded awesome.
The intensity of that, it was like just an I mean, you know what it's like when you see Maiden. This was, it was very special. I have to say, you know, it was just like a weird dream almost. You know,
Yeah.
really,
Imagine.
and blasting
Yeah.
out the Aces High. It was
Yeah.
like, you know, I thought I'd never see this type thing. It was like, yeah, you know, just unreal. And they were just
The second coming.
and there was just this energy of that excitement, but not in a yay and this is it, but you felt like you were at the start of something, and that's not just me saying this
Yeah.
now.
Well, there was a lot of things I
Bruce
think.
was very clear.
Yeah.
We're going to make the best. You know, we're going to make the best fucking Iron Maiden record.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Probably
You've
said
ever
that
heard.
verbatim. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty much. It's
Yeah.
very, very clear. You know, made a point. That show was saying we're not here for 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
this, you know, this is
Which is exactly what we wanted
exactly what we wanted to
to
hear.
hear.
Yeah, and here we are. How many years later?
Exactly.
25
It's
years
incredible.
later.
Like there's more, nearly double the time.
Mhm.
More now, well not
Yeah.
quite, but you know what I mean. Like they're halfway through. Okay, this is 50,
Halfway through their
50
career.
years. 2025 is maybe 50 years, but that was halfway through.
Yeah,
That's incredible. So 3 guitar lineup.
3 guitar lineup
Holy shit!
was you know, that
I
just
don't
added
think
something.
Yannick not being in the band was never going to be a question. It was always
No,
there. Yeah.
you know, I think when that was brought up, that wasn't the problem. I think for Steve, the issue was Bruce, and probably he'd been hurt by Bruce leaving.
Yeah.
I think that's quite clear. I think if you look at the X Factor and look at the lyrics and
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
you know, everyone says it was about the breakup of divorce he was going through at the time, but I think there's a lot of actually the divorce of the band in
Yeah.
those lyrics as
Yeah.
well. Maybe
Oh,
I'm
God.
wrong, but
100%. No.
I think
think
that
you're right.
is there. You know,
I think you're
again check out the X Factor review there. So when it was mentioned about want to bring Adrian back, Steve just went, well, I always wanted 3 guitars anyway.
Yeah.
The songs have loads of parts, so that wasn't that was really the 3 Amigos wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't really have much more to say about that aspect of, you know, the Ed Hunter tour. It was a great short tour, short, sharp blast, you know, to give everyone a glimpse. Bruce said that they held back a little bit on the show
Right.
because, you know, some things we wanted to just keep,
Yeah.
you know, for the real tour after
Yeah.
we'd done the album,
Uh-huh.
you know, leave them wanting more and all that.
Yeah.
Dave Murray said about the you know, the reunion, to him it felt like, you know, like a football team, and you know, you're getting to field your, you know, your ultimate 11 or something like that. You know, this is the best Iron Maiden lineup
Yeah.
you could ever put out.
Yeah.
And
God.
it
Of course.
just we're so excited
Yeah.
about going and making a new record, because we just feel like we're, you know, this is, you know, it's the best we could be.
Yeah.
Uh,
At the time, you would never have thought the 6-man lineup was a bad thing anyway.
No, it's
It was.
a dream.
It was completely bizarre, maybe, from what you were used to. But whenever you looked at them, even those early photographs of the 3 of them with the
Yeah.
guitars, I'm like, yes,
When I think of
it looks right.
it looks right, and I think of the photo of the 6 of them with the beer,
Yes.
you know, and the
That's right.
flag over
Yeah.
them. I think of that as the reunion
Yeah.
kind of photo
Just
shoot.
looks good.
It just looks.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, they're back.
Yeah.
You know, and well, I suppose we better move on to
The album?
The album.
No, finally. Right,
Huh?
okay. It's not going to be 2 episodes. Fuck it. Let's go.
So
Let's get our knickers off and get stuck in
to-
to this
Brave New
world.
so released the 29th of May 2000.
Or if you were me and Andy, the 27th of May 2000.
Because we got our
Copy
early.
2 days early.
We did.
We
did.
bluffed it.
Now,
Don't know how that happened, but anyway, we did. I know
Well-
exactly how it happened. Actually.
we will go back a couple of weeks
Oh, okay.
to the
Get me.
8th of May
Ah, and
when the release of The Wicker Man, which is just
it's probably one of the worst singles I've ever heard in my life. Bollocks!
it is. This is it's the resurgence in 4.5 wonderful, glorious.
It's something
minutes
you never thought you would ever hear.
ever happen, and the excitement about this album was obviously, just there.
God, I'm getting palpitations thinking about
Thinking
it.
about it, but the track and the video,
Yeah,
there's Smith.
just all over it, Andy. Track 1 of the album. Let's just get fucking stuck in. First
Ebony
single.
Les Paul.
Yep.
Chunking the chords out. That
Bit-
chunks that
Just
riff out. Yeah.
absolutely. Nearly like it's. Do you know what? Even to say it was like something else is to do it down. It is phenomenal. It's a phenom.
The track,
Yeah,
the riff,
everything about it. is
everything
phenomenal.
about it.
The
is
riff,
phenomenal.
the opening riff, just those 8 bars or whatever it is. Then, boom, boom,
and the rest
boom,
of it,
boom.
yeah,
boom, 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 boom,
and away
and
they
you're
go.
away.
And they're away.
You're like,
That's-
holy shit!
That's them.
But when you heard it first, you could see it happening live.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what was going to happen.
You knew exactly what was going to happen.
And then Bruce just blasting in
yeah,
with it.
the video just.
The video's the best Iron Maiden video.
It's the best Iron Maiden
Yeah.
video ever made.
Looks
De-
like they
definitely.
threw a load of cash at it. Cool Eddie in it.
Yep. So you send through a lot of cash at it. So they got Dean Carr to direct this and do all the photo shoots and stuff
Yeah.
for it. Dean Carr's a shit hot video maker and photographer. He's done loads of really, really cool music videos. No One Knows, Queens of the Stone
Yeah.
Age. Did like some of the kind of iconic Marilyn Manson photographs and stuff are by him. Loads of look him up on his website.
Yeah.
He's just done loads of cool stuff, and the photo shoot and the just that video is belter.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. It's
Captures something.
it's lightning in a bottle.
It's lightning in a bottle.
It's lightning in a
Is it,
bottle.
you
It's got a great Eddie. It's got
yeah,
great action in it. It's got beautifully shot metal.
yeah. It's beautifully
Yeah.
shot, and I love the nod to The Prisoner.
Yes, I was going to say the ball thing.
With the big
yeah.
which are filled with propane.
Yeah.
And I watched an interview. There's an interview with Dean Carr actually about making the video.
Right. Okay.
You can look that up on YouTube. And he said that those were actually 9-foot tall propane balloons, and they exploded perfectly.
Yeah.
Said, which is why if anyone young video makers out there, he said, if you're going to do pyro, get someone who really knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because it just worked exactly how I, kind of envisioned it.
Uh-huh.
But it just looks so cool.
Yeah.
But I love that nod to the Prisoner. And just it's just perfect. It's the best musical comeback ever. Is what I think of this track.
I think it's the best opening track of an Iron Maiden album.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that, and I'm going to stick by that. You can't. It's better than every other track one of an Iron Maiden album. It's better.
Yeah. Better
It's
than
better.
SSI?
Better. It's better. I do think it's better.
Yeah. It's probably the most. Yeah, it's so iconic, isn't it? It really is.
No,
It's just
no,
a
no, no, no,
grenade.
no. It's not.
No?
I don't think it's iconic. It's as iconic as the SSI. It's not.
It is.
It's just better. It's better. It's a great song. It's here's
Okay,
right. Here's
okay.
right. Okay. No, this isn't a podcast about SSI versus Wicker
No,
Man.
no.
But it's.
And I'm not saying it's not.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not. I know you're not. I know you're not. But it's perfectly structured.
It's a brilliant song. Yeah.
It's perfectly structured, and it's better than Aces High because it's got the end bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what we need from a Maiden gig: intensity, rock hard riffs, exquisite drumming, sublime bass playing, fantastic vocals, and the opportunity for the audience to interact with the song.
Yep.
And the Wicker Man does that in 4 minutes 30 odd.
It does. It gives
Everything.
that the Iron Maiden.
Jesus Christ.
Resurgence.
I want to listen to it now. That's it. I'm going to stop, push, friggin' pause.
That's what I meant by it's iconic.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
it
sorry.
gives. It was saying the same thing in a different way. It just does everything. It sums up what the entire Resurgence is about in 4.5 minutes.
It's the Resurgence.
It's glorious.
It is. It's glorious.
It's glorious.
It's glorious.
From it and from it, it had to be Adrian Smith that kicks it off. How fitting is that?
Had to be.
It had to be. It doesn't matter that the riff sounds like the verse out of Future Reel.
Yeah.
It's quite a simple riff, but it's the way he
It just chunks
it out.
Just chunks it out.
It's just great. The pre-chorus has a nod to Charlotte the Harlot. So it does. Yeah. The
Yeah.
but a nod and no more.
It goes back up though.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it.
It's just a nod.
It's just magical.
Dickinson
And,
sounds immense. The harmonies
They're incredible.
are just incredible. This is a vocalist, this is a vocalist at his absolute peak.
Yeah.
He
they're
is
in their,
better.
the other thing is, they're in their 40s.
I know that's
They're
what I'm
our
saying.
age.
He's just delivered The Chemical Wedding, which in my opinion is his greatest vocal performance
100%.
of his entire
Without doubt.
life.
I
So
totally agree.
he's at the peak of his powers,
Yeah.
and yet he's returning to this band that was like an 80s big 80s metal thing. So it's not that they're trying to recapture glory. It's actually better. He sounds better.
They've made it better.
Yeah.
He's got better. They've
Yeah.
made it better.
Yeah.
Adrian Smith has got better.
Yeah.
He's making it better.
The chorus is a bit accident of birth.
Yeah.
Half-time.
Yeah.
It's got that same massive hook
Yeah,
feel
it
to
does. It does. There's that wee bit as well.
Yeah. And
That bit.
Yeah.
That bit's just a beautiful
little motif.
Aye, a wee soup song of
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it is. And the
Soup song of awesome.
as you said, the solo
Oh,
from Adrian is just that is, I think, something that Steve has said that Iron Maiden lost something when Adrian left. Quite no put his finger on what it was, but
Melody.
That's something. But yeah, Adrian's playing is so unique because more than the other two, who are brilliant.
okay. Yeah, totally. Right, Peter.
H's leads have little bits that you can hum.
Yeah. Yeah, and
And
they're
It's not all.
Yeah.
They're more hummable. A lot of his solos are a lot more singable and
Yeah,
hummable.
yeah.
They're really memorable
It's a
little melody lines.
It's a melody, yeah.
in them.
He has a massive. It's a special skill as his amazing sense of melody.
Melody.
Yeah.
And that's what he brings to the party. And
Even the
it's just-
second half of that solo is
it's
beautiful.
brilliant
And then the-
solo. Yep.
It's so good, actually. Yeah.
It's just a fantastic solo. It's brilliant. It's got the right peaks and troughs
Yep.
in it. and
Absolutely. And it's not extraordinarily long or extraordinarily extravagant.
No.
But what it does, like the song itself, it just compacts it
Yeah.
into just 430 of perfection. Perfection. It's perfection.
And there's parts of that Nico accentuates what Adrian's playing
Yep.
as well in some
Yep.
of the roles.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
the second time round,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
it's just cool. Nico really drives this. He sounds more powerful than I think he ever has up to this point.
Yeah.
Nico's snare drum on this album is just brutal. It's power.
He's doing that thing where you think he's playing with 2 feet.
And the kick drum,
Yeah.
but it's 1 foot, and it has that urgency
Yeah.
about it, you
Yeah.
know.
Uh-huh.
And everything that we've said there, finished. The last thing about the song writing is just the, as you say, the glorious outro,
Yeah.
the whoa,
Oh,
which is just a Maiden fans
just dream.
singing "Dream." It
Yeah.
just sounds so glorious.
The chance to interact with
Yeah.
the radio before you even thought they would. You never thought they'd be back, and when they did come back, this is what they come back
This
with.
is what they come back with,
Yeah.
and I cast my mind to actually Blaze saying something that kind of suggested that I can't remember if it was. I think it was actually maybe about the Klansman. That Steve was unsure whether to put in a whoa whoa whoa, you know, the whoa,
Yeah.
whoa,
Yeah.
but because is that what people expect of me as a songwriter? Is it too? And Blaze was like, no, it's great.
Yeah.
You know, do it. What are you talking about? You know,
Exactly.
it's brilliant, and he did do it, but it showed doubt. There's no doubt here.
No.
It is brash. It is unashamed, and
Yeah.
it's unapologetic.
Yeah.
It is that. It's sheer confidence.
Yeah.
You know, all of that's gone now.
They know. They know.
that
They
they're-
knew that this song was an absolute killer.
Killer.
Yeah.
Absolute. And it had to be.
Yeah. Oh, aye.
It had to
Of
be.
that, there's no doubt because
This,
you have.
this is the thing.
We talk about now. I do talk an awful lot now in work. It takes about things being landed right,
Yeah.
and like this is landed so right.
It's perfect. And it had to be because before it came out, Bruce had said we're better than Metallica.
Yeah.
So he teed it up, but they had to deliver.
Yeah.
You know, and boy did they deliver.
Fucking A.
The final thing I'll just say about it is all of that we have said, the production
Yeah.
by
Knew you were
Kevin
gonna come to
Shirley
this. Yeah. Uh-huh.
is what we've said about everyone and their performances and,
Yeah.
and all that there is true. But if that had been in Barnyard Studios, it wouldn't have sounded anything
It
like
sounded like shit.
the way it
Yeah.
does.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not that the band ever stopped playing well, but they'd forgot how to make a brilliant record.
Yeah.
And this producer, everything is, I mean, they're recording live and then overdubbing.
Yeah,
on-
that's right. They're
onto a
not
live
doing
track.
parts. That's right.
They're not
Which
recording
they would have done before.
With,
It's
with
more
Martin
as
Birch, they were
live. Yeah.
they were
That's
tracking
right.
separately.
Mhm.
Now I think in the Barnyard they probably
They
did
maybe did
record
that.
live,
Yeah, yeah.
but it was just crap equipment and a
Yeah.
crap live room and you know it was
Yeah.
crap, basically sound quality wise.
Uh-huh.
It didn't do the band any favors,
No.
and they were fighting against it. You know,
Yeah.
some good stuff on the X Factor, but it's fighting the production.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. No, agreed.
But this, everything's just, it's big and spacious and lush and rich.
Yeah.
And just fucking bombastic.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's just a reinvigoration.
Yeah.
It's like a shot in
Resurgence.
the arm. Resurgence. It is.
We
It
may
is.
say the word resurgence a lot.
You know, I think we've done that good. We've
Yeah.
done a good bit of justice to that track.
Cool artwork for the Wicker Man.
Yep, very cool.
Um,
Lovely flaming the picture disc CD single.
yeah, it's
With the fucking, it's probably sitting here somewhere.
Mark Wilkinson.
Mark Wilkinson again. Good old Mark. Sorry, just moving some shit
So
here. now.
Mark Wilkinson, who got the duties, and I suppose we'll come on to the artwork for the album. I suppose.
Yeah,
in
we
a-
come
in a
on
bit.
that right for. I'm just going through my
Yeah.
CD. Fuck me. Oasis,
so you
you
can
know,
just put
like
a
him.
JPEG up on the screen.
Oh, I suppose so.
Yeah.
Ton of darkness in there.
But yeah, it's pretty cool artwork for the single. It's not Derek Riggs, but
That's the real other bag. Sorry.
will we talk
Track 2.
track 2 and we'll come back to artwork
I will do the artwork at the end.
at the end.
Right.
Yep. So track 2 is
Boom, 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 boom,
Ghost of the Navigator.
boom. Imagine hearing that there after hearing. Imagine hearing The Wicker Man, right? Oh,
it should say songwriters
aside.
Smith, Harris,
Yep.
Dickinson for the Wicker Man. Sorry.
yeah, quick aside. We heard The Wicker Man, lost our shit. Then we were in Belfast that weekend, mincing about,
Oh yes, and we went
doing
into
what we normally did, and we went to Hector's house, which doesn't exist anymore.
which was a record store.
There's
Just
a
back when you
record
went
shop in
into record
Belfast.
stores.
Whenever there was like 2 record shops, there was Virgin, Our Price, and then a couple of independents. It's an independent,
And we went in, and there was
just
this
looking for
music
stuff.
playing, which was
which sounded a bit like Bruce Dickinson.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, what? And actually, it was the Nomad. I think we was
Yeah.
playing. Was it you? You went, what's that
I
there?
said to the guy behind the counter,
What's that there playing?
What is that? And he went, "What's the new maiden album?" And we went, "What?" Because it wasn't due out to the Monday, and we were talking incessantly about what it was going to be like, and we got it.
We got it. We
Blagged
got it
it.
early.
We blagged it. We had it in our hands.
Couldn't
We
believe
went
it.
for a smoke.
2 days early.
We went for a smoke because we couldn't just believe. I know exactly where we were.
Yeah.
Upstairs in the Fountain Arcade.
Yeah.
And we
With this-
sat out. It was a lovely
This
day.
treasure.
It was a lovely day.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon in Belfast. You know, 1999 or 2000, sorry.
2000.
And it was just, and we went through all the tracks, and I sang what I thought everyone sounded like.
I'm glad to say that.
Fall the Angel got pretty right, in fairness, I think.
Well, you might have been the closest on that.
Yeah, it was. So yeah,
Ghost
what
of
have
the
we got?
Navigator. Ghost of the Navigator.
First epic of the album.
Gers Dickinson.
Oh, magic, yes. So
6 minutes 50.
we got something new. I thought 7 minutes. Huh?
6 minutes 50.
Bloody hell!
So-
What a tune!
Doesn't quite qualify as an
Doesn't
epic, does
qualify
it?
as an epic. Forget it.
Our one of our things is over 7
7
minutes
minutes.
for an epic.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, Andy. Apologies about that, everyone.
So, but very close, as close
Yeah.
as you can get.
Um,
Brilliant song. It's really
gorgeous.
intense. This song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lovely intro.
Bass heavy.
Bass heavy.
Just
Again, there's a richness there. That,
Yeah.
and just this shift.
on a very Gers start
Yeah.
with the you know he always seems to pick that lilt out of a guitar riff at the start, and then you've got Ari's playing on this is super sublime.
Yeah.
You know, boom 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 boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really like
And
that
then-
that riff.
Ding 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 ding.
Yep.
Like
Right.
you're on a Viking longboat.
That kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's now the riff is very
Even the chords,
Ozzy
isn't it?
Osbourne, Blizzard of
Yeah.
Oz.
love
I
the-
don't know.
I
That's
love
what
the
song's
chord.
called.
The chords leading up, not ding 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 ding.
It's that
They're weird.
it's that bit. Just
But just before that bit, I haven't even got that bit because
Alright,
I want
okay.
to talk about Nico's drum roll fell
Oh.
into that bit.
Oh right there.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
that bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Absolutely
Lovely
brilliant.
build, isn't it? It's
Oh,
class, like.
it is. It's a dictionary definition of how to build a metal song up.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Really intricate. And really demonstrates all 6 band members. Well, you know, Bruce hasn't fucking sang yet, but
Yep.
but really demonstrates the craft of making. This is the second track.
Yeah.
Would you be telling me this is one of my favorite tracks of the album? Probably not, from my opinion.
It's a phenomenal
But
track.
it's a fucking amazing
It's a
track.
phenomenal track.
It's amazing.
Yeah, this is an album of many, many highlights.
Yep.
Okay, track number 1, highlight.
Amazing.
that-
Amazing.
For me, this is a highlight as
Oh,
well.
I-
It's
without doubt.
a brilliant
As I
song.
said, not one of my
Um,
favorite tracks of the album, on an album which is going to be, let's just say, quite highly scored.
Yeah.
But anyway, brilliant.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And the lyrics.
fantastic.
The
Yeah.
autobiographical, and I actually
Yep.
printed the lyrics off for the first time ever.
Yep.
So I have sailed to many lands, now I make my final journey. On the bow I stand, west is where I go. It's Dickie singing about being back in
Back
Maine.
in Maiden, isn't it?
100%.
Yep.
100%. 100%. Oh, really, really good. Brilliant.
Love it. Love it. I love the change in gear in this song as well. At the
Changes about 4 times, so which is
yeah,
amazing.
it does,
And it's
doesn't it?
not an epic.
There's a little effect on the voice. Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. I will not be led astray.
The
The mysteries of time, all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And Nico's kind of doing that like staccato kind of beat and stuff before it goes into another change, which is the chorus.
Yep.
Another gear shift.
I know, and it's quite
I see they go to
generic,
navigators.
maybe, but it's still for the first. They'd say that.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Quite generic for the first 4 words.
Yeah.
Then
But
you've
it's the
got
power.
Aye, it's
The power
but
of
it's
this
it's
song.
the gear shift again.
Gear shift, and they just sound so powerful.
You know, you've got the
um,
see the ghosts of navigators, but they are loud. It's
Yeah.
quite straightforward, and then you've got the take my heart and set it free bit,
which
which
is
is
brilliant. And
Brilliant.
that is full flight, Maiden.
Yeah, absolutely.
They just sound like they're unleashed,
Yeah.
don't they?
It's-
You know,
it-
and Bruce sounds so. They're just everything's turned up to 11.
It's potent, just fucking potent.
And then when you think it can't get any better,
You want to talk about the lead?
Yannick's lead
Oh,
is
it's amazing. Yeah.
awesome on
Yeah.
this, and full marks to Kevin Shirley because, up to this point in our men's career, Yannick Gers has never sounded as fucking epic,
Volatile.
volatile,
Yeah.
incendiary,
Yeah.
whatever. What they've done with the guitar tone there is just awesome.
Yeah,
Like he sounds awesome.
he does. He's incredible. He's
And the playing
incredible.
is brilliant. Like
This
but,
is his.
yeah.
This is Yannick's best.
You know what? That's something I was going to kind of
Yeah,
say
we'll talk-
towards
okay,
the,
we'll leave it to
the
the
end.
end,
But
but
yeah, Yannick features very heavily in
Yeah,
this
he
album.
does.
He's very prominent on
Yeah.
this album. And actually, a lot of people go, "Well, it's Bruce and Adrian that have
Yeah.
come back," but actually, when you look at it and you look at the writing credits,
He's all over it.
Yannick's
Yeah.
all over this album. And yeah, he has some real. I think his best lead guitar work is on this album.
Yeah, absolutely.
He just sounds on fire.
It's like he's been given again, like the rest of the guys, a new lease of life with it.
A new lease of life. Yeah, I wonder did he feel he had something to prove more than the others, or
Yeah, possibly.
you know, I don't know. I don't know. Or
Yeah.
is it just a brilliant producer? Doesn't know who they are. Has went to see them live.
Yeah.
And it's just set them up in such a way that he's just making them sound. He's getting the best out of him. It's like a great manager getting the best out of a player.
Yeah.
You know, that is, or director getting the best out of an actor.
Yep.
That is a producer's job,
Yep.
and he definitely gets the best out of Yannick here. It's
Incredible.
brilliant.
Incredible.
Blistering solo,
Yep.
and then they go off on a sprint,
Yep.
and I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Nico just it's
You're right. Oh god, I can't believe it's not an epic.
uh,
All the parts we talked about. Yeah.
but I love that. I love that bit. It's so it's like they're already at 11 and then they whack it up to 111.
And you know, before you've seen these boys on stage, you know what Bruce is doing there. He's running from the end of the stage to the end of the stage.
And you know what? The only thing
You
I
know,
want to see in
give
that
it out
bit is Nico Cam.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see, because he's
Yeah, you can imagine him.
off on one, like he's going ballistic. Love it. And they go round, so they do the sprint, and then they go round a second loop. They step it up
Yeah.
a tone, don't they?
Yeah.
Play the riff higher.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And Nico's foot's giving it
Aye. That foot.
the whole way
Yeah.
through those, was it 16 bars or
Yeah.
whatever, you know? That's immense.
I know. It's incredible.
I just brilliant. Chorus. refrain. The only minor nitpick
Fuck. Right.
would be the end of it sounds a bit like the end of Wicker Man, just with the. It's a bit like the last.
Right.
Whoa.
I have absolutely no
Do you know
problem
what I
with
mean?
that.
But that's
Yeah.
literally that's absolutely really nitpicking, like. But it's a magic song.
God. So happy
Yeah.
enough with that one.
Yeah, like who cares?
I think
suppose,
I
but that's
find
it.
that one's pretty good too. It's track 3.
Track number 3, which
The title track.
is the title track, Brave New World, at 6 minutes and 18.
Another not an epic.
It's not an epic, but it is a Murray Harris
Miss Dickinson. So when was the last time I seen Dave Murray write a tune? It wouldn't happen to be. It wouldn't be. It was not Dave Shabu. Is it not the Prophecy? Hold on,
No,
I've got
well-
no perfect down here.
Well, hold on. Dave would have written.
God, I can't read that. Yeah, it's terrible. Not Tail Gunner. Not Holy Smoke. Not No Prayer for the Darren.
No, Dave wrote.
Oh,
Did he-
Public Enemy #1. Murray Dickinson.
I know, but that's not their last album.
No, I know. I'm just thinking
Oh.
of the boys with this sort of lineup.
Oh, you mean the last time Dave Murray had written a
Fate's
song
Warning.
with Bruce? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean?
No, sorry. All right, let's put it.
I don't know what you
Wrote
mean.
a decent fucking song. That's
Oh,
what-
right, okay,
Yeah,
okay. The last time Dave Murray wrote a decent song. Well, because I was going to say, did he not write Lightning Strikes Twice, which is on Virgil 11?
Oh, that is really good.
Which is
Actually.
a good track, you
Yeah.
know, but
Calculations. All right, go on. We're done with that now. Brave New World, anyway. Right, Dying Swans. Dying Swan. Wow. Just so he
Sorry.
started.
it's just because you touched on one of my funniest memes. Calculations. Right, Dave Murray,
Right.
Brave New World. Now, what is interesting here, back to serious maiden talk, is track number 1 is Smith.
Yep.
Track number 2 is Gers.
Gers.
And track number 3
is Murray.
is Murray.
Right enough. Never thought about that.
Isn't it again so fitting that that's what we're given first 3 tracks?
Yep.
A track that's primarily come from each guitarist.
Yep. Lovely.
I love that. Gorgeous intro,
Oh Christ, yeah.
isn't it?
Lovely, lovely, absolutely
Again,
lovely,
Beautiful tones.
Yep.
Beautiful airiness.
and lovely support from the
richness.
other people in the band as well.
Yeah, it's
Um,
really cool.
some really Bruce's vocals in this as well. I love the way he sings this song.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he gives us everything that he gave us in the Chemical Wedding. I think in certain parts, it really does
Really full and
quite soft. Wee bits of introspective
You
at the
mean
beginning, and then
yeah.
up
The light and shade.
total,
Yeah.
total light and shade.
I love that. I also love the that's I absolutely agree. The other thing or one of the other things I like about this song is there's quite a lot of nice little intricate chords
Yeah,
in there,
there is.
plinked in the background,
Yep.
almost sounding piano-esque,
Yeah.
you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, the plinking.
Yeah,
There's that kind of, and I really like the change of. They're delivering the same verse with the same root notes,
yeah,
but playing it with some nice little intricate chords and the kind of staccato, if that's the right phrase, you know, beat.
okay,
Whether-
singing it in my head right now.
Whether the next time round they open it up
Yeah.
and it's power chords,
Yeah.
and they're playing it, you know,
Yeah,
more straight,
yeah,
but you know, and Bruce is opening up the voice a wee bit more, but it's the band changing. Yeah,
yeah,
so they're delivering essentially what I'm saying is they're delivering the verse, but in a slightly different way musically.
What they're doing is taking like 4 fucking chords and making 25 chords out of it, which is amazing.
It's
Inversions,
really, really cool. But the
triads.
the rhythm's changing a little
Yeah,
bit. You know,
absolutely,
from that
yeah,
bum, 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 bum,
Yeah.
bum, 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 more to a ba, 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 ba.
There's a
You know,
the way that
emphasis
is
is
delivered vocally as well. There's a real urgency to that. I think.
it's class. It's really, really cool.
And then you're going halftime again with the chorus, aren't you?
Halftime with the chorus.
Yeah,
Love
even
How
that
We
wee
Run.
bit. Yeah, absolutely.
Really, really
and
like
then
that.
is it like the third time he sings it? It goes high, really high, which
Yeah.
means what we're here. It's theatre, very low at the beginning, very introspective, very like maudlin or sad.
Yeah.
Then it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds and builds
Yeah.
and builds and builds and builds and builds. So it's that building.
That's absolutely. And fair to say this track is there's more layers musically than the previous two.
It's a first.
Previous two are,
It's a first proper.
a real
proggy-
punches. This is very proggy.
It's
yeah.
a first
There's a bit more
It's the
musicality.
first proggy
a bit
maiden
more.
track.
Yeah.
Proper proggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely very, very proggy. It's also the first with a real out and out on this album, a twin or triple lead.
Yeah. That's right.
As well.
That's right. That's right. Which we've been waiting for.
Which you would associate with, but the first two tracks don't really have that. But yeah, so a fantastic track.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Track number 4.
Can't talk about it.
So I suppose
Teared up.
I don't class this as an epic.
Fuck off.
I class it as I don't, but I do, because it's hard to describe this song. I've actually written it as it's unlike any other Maiden track before or since. It's like this proggy Jethro Tull-esque ballad with
Sing along.
with a Celtic feel
Yeah.
and strings, and yet sing along.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's solely composed.
It's fucking amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
it is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh,
They've given us two belters, a third which is proggy but rocks.
brilliant. Yeah.
This is into uncharted territory.
This is. Fuck, you've got that really bang on. You know that it is. It's not like anything they've ever done before.
no.
Really not. Or
it's-
since.
it's
Maybe
not.
you're right.
Or sense. It's such
It's
a
orchestral.
yeah.
It's thematic.
Yep.
It's a perfect blend of what makes Maiden.
Yep.
So that Celtic, and I'm talking about Celtic as in the pre-Roman word.
Yep.
Rather than when everyone was a Celt. I'm not whether you're from fucking Ireland, Scotland, Wales, or England.
Yep.
It didn't exist nowadays. It's just one place.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. So you've got that. I think Yannick is very heavy in this song, even though he's not credited as a writer.
Yeah, he's very heavy in the playing
Yeah,
of this song.
very much so.
Although he's not
Lyrically,
writer.
there's never been anything as raw.
So this song is a very personal song. I know to Steve's late father,
Yep.
but it also on a basic level, the fact that this is the reunion
Yep.
and it's called Blood Brothers.
Yep.
You know, the chorus there's that's undeniable.
Oh, yeah.
As well
Yeah.
that's there.
Uh-huh.
You know, and some of this that we'll say is I'll come back to it later. Bear that point in mind. Just, but yeah, it's just beautiful
Yeah.
and brave as well.
Brave, beautiful.
This song is a statement that we're really not just going to pump out.
Yeah.
You know, the same
it's
stuff
not a sausage
we
factory we're working.
did.
Yeah.
You know, we are going to challenge ourselves musically
Yeah, and
and
the
our
listener.
listeners.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, you know, do one. There's no way you would expect this song.
No,
And
no.
yet it is wonderful.
It is. It's very. But there's there are definite elements of two things.
Mhm.
First, I think there's chemical wedding elements in that with your Jerusalem.
Yeah, you know, I never actually made that link before.
Is that his response to something like that?
Something like that? Or was he challenged by that as
Challenged by it?
songwriting?
And
or
the second thing as
It's so
well
good.
is this the one? I definitely think there's a wee thumbprint of Blaze Bailey over that somewhere.
Well, this is one of...
You've heard his cover of it with Thomas something or other.
So
Can't remember the guy's name.
it was... So just on that, I think what Chris means is some of these songs were emerged
out,
in
yeah.
the Virtual 11 writing sessions.
Yep.
Now, and this is in no way are we trying to
I don't think
throw any
this
conspiracies out there, because this is how songwriting goes.
Yeah, it
you don't
is.
get all songs finished. Some songs sit around for a while before they're ready to go,
Yeah,
etc.
you have
etc.
riffs and things like that
So-
about, don't you?
Yeah, Blaze has said he definitely he heard parts of Blood Brothers. It was being written but wasn't ready
Okay.
for that.
Yep.
The Mercenary and
Fallen
Dream of
Angel.
Mirrors. The Mercenary and Dream of Mirrors were the other songs that were
Right.
kicking around at the Virtual 11 sessions.
Was Nomad that one on too, maybe?
Possibly.
I think. But anyway.
Possibly.
Fallen Angel wasn't one of them, actually.
No,
It was
because Fallen it's
definitely a
Smithy.
mercenary. Yeah.
So, but
Anyway. So they were lying about somewhere. Yes.
Just
It's kind of hard to talk about it.
a phenomenal track.
It
What
is.
what else do you say about it? Well, actually, you know what else to say? Yannick's guitar solo.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Was it? Yeah.
The lead is sublime.
It's a sublimely.
Yeah.
I think it's his best guitar solo ever in
Yep.
Maiden's history.
Yep.
From even including everything they've done since this album.
Yeah.
And much for the reason that we just complimented Adrian's playing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a solo that you can hum.
Yep, that's right. It's the lilt of it. It's the
Yeah.
Celtic tonality of it.
It's just something. It's just
You
you know.
Yeah.
It's just something
Yep.
magnificent about the. I mean, it kind of he's taken the melody of the song, which obviously Steve has written, and woven that into his solo
Yeah.
with some really nice bends. There's a lovely sheen off the production of his
Yeah.
notes, as we've said. Whatever amp Shirley has him playing through, or
Yeah.
he's playing through, or whatever.
Rack.
It just sounds
Yeah.
ace, you know. There's like a glisteningness
Yeah.
off his notes or
Absolutely.
something, isn't there? He keeps this solo quite simple,
Yep. Yeah.
and he just gives it a wee run in the right place.
Yes. Yes,
He doesn't
exactly.
overdo it. Doesn't overcook it.
No,
You know.
he doesn't actually.
And yet, Yannick's quite a flashy player,
Yeah.
but he doesn't in this one.
Pyrotechnics and Incendiary.
Yeah.
Whereas Dave would have been the speedster, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
No.
it's a beautiful solo, and his the finest of
The
his
testament
career,
of
I
this
think,
song,
Yannick.
right? I could hear a band playing that song, and wouldn't matter what genre the band was, they could do a pretty good version
It's
of
a
it.
great song, isn't it? It
So
shows
you could hear like a traditional Irish band.
Mhm.
I'd love to hear a version of that.
doing that.
Yeah. Someone like the way Blaze does it with that guy who he plays with, plays a nylon string acoustic,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
it.
Thomas.
Sveisin,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but really effective. You could hear a fucking dance music version of that song.
It's
and
just
it'd be great.
Great song,
You know
great
what I mean?
melody, great.
Bonnie Tyler could sing that. Jim Steinman could do a run on that, couldn't he? I think he's dead. But do you can imagine Meatloaf giving that a go?
The
couldn't you?
loaf.
Bloody anybody take
And
I could friggin' do it.
We haven't even mentioned how great Bruce delivers this.
Oh yeah.
You know, the delivery of the vocal, the light and shade,
Yep. Absolutely.
if you think we've used all our chances,
Yep.
the chance to
Oh,
make
that
everything
thing,
right.
right. Oh,
it's
yeah.
just beautiful,
That's brilliant.
isn't it? You know, And yet he makes it
Keep on
sound
making the same old mistakes.
effortless.
It's like
doesn't he, as well?
that's like something you'd hear at a funeral or something.
It's just
It's
wonderful.
on tip in the bottom, so easy.
I don't have much else to say about it. 'Cause it's just
Get
an
it on.
ace track.
Get it on. It's
Aside
brilliant.
from, it is probably the track. I haven't checked this beforehand, but it's probably the track that since has been played live the
the most
I think.
off that album.
Yeah.
Yeah, without question.
You know, so I think it has emerged as, so The Wicker Man is totally iconic track, and will always be the iconic statement
Yep.
from this album.
Yep.
But I think Blood Brothers is the greatest track on the album.
Yep. I agree.
And is a long-standing, you know, yeah.
I would nearly go as far as to say that's my favorite track on the album.
Yeah, it's very hard to
Yeah.
pick because there's so much. But yeah, it's a
There's
magic
some absolute
track. It
fucking
could be mine.
stunners coming
It
through.
could be mine as well, but
Yeah.
it's almost impossible. So next up, track number 5, clocking in at 4 minutes 42. Another Gers Harris is
The
The
Mercenary.
Mercenary.
Now, what do you? This I wrote. Can I be clear with you? I had written reams of notes in this album and lost them all. So, and I was trying to look this afternoon and I couldn't find them. So I am going on eyeballing this, guys. I am literally just fucking winging it. But anyway, this song is the one note that I can remember. I gave this song a 8.5 out of 10, and I think it's probably one of the weaker tracks on the album.
So yeah, it's a
but
strange
it's
one.
still an 8.5.
But it's still a great song,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I would
for a couple of wee bits that are in it, which I love. But anyway,
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think
it's the most blaze song.
yeah. You think so? Yeah.
do, yeah.
It is from Virgil Evans Sessions
Yep.
apparently. So, I mean, it's a straight ahead rock song, but it sounds really big.
It does.
You know,
It's the production
production's
really,
really
helps it. It
beefy,
lifts
isn't
it. It lifts it. It lifts it above being, dare I say it, slightly mediocre. And I don't
Yeah.
think it is mediocre. I think it's still a great song. It's actually
Yeah.
a good palate cleanser after Blood Brothers.
Yeah. I mean, you've had 3 pretty lengthy songs.
Yep.
Goes to the
You have.
Navigator.
You need a palate
that.
and a moose bush.
So yeah, I think having a short, sharp rocker
Yeah.
there it is was important.
Yep.
It's the right time for it. But yeah, it's easy to say, oh, it's one of the weaker songs off the album. But yeah, it's a great track.
It's a
Yeah,
brilliant song.
That's absolutely true.
You know?
I love the change to halftime for the chorus.
Yep.
I love that
The
the chorus
lyrics
is
are
quite
cool.
big.
It's like Predator. Taking trophies
Yeah.
out of me.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It is a cool track. I love the bit where the guitars drop out.
I
and
just
you
remember the
hear
drum
an
comes
echo.
in.
Yeah.
Show them. That's the best bit in the song. for me.
Love that bit.
I love that bit.
The
The balls that do that.
balls to do that, and,
Yeah.
and the vocal line's just cool. And it sounds
And
great live. Love
That's
that.
a great wee bit.
And another thing I picked up on this song, Chris, just that
Go on.
this is a Yannick.
That's another girl song.
Yeah, it's a Yannick Penn song,
Yeah.
but he doesn't play a solo in it.
No.
The solo is Smiley, Dave
Yeah.
Murray, and then Smith.
Yeah.
And I think that shows a lot of where the band are, and where this 3 guitar lineup is. They're quite happy to. Jan's obviously
Yeah.
went. You take.
Go on ahead, mate,
you guys
yeah.
take this one.
Yeah.
You know,
Uh-huh.
why don't you take it and you take it? So there's a real camaraderie there.
Yeah.
That isn't. This isn't ego trip.
It's a
This
team
isn't.
effort, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the guitarists are all going, well, this is my song, so I'm playing the solos on
Yeah.
it. It's not like that. And I think that's a great example of it here, that he's given the other 2 those solos. Don't have much more to say about it.
Yeah, it's probably the one the least amount to say, maybe. But then.
But it
what a-
works so well
it does,
live
it's
too,
great.
by the
It
way.
is, it's good, it is good.
Brilliant track live.
Then it is a palate cleanser for what's coming next.
Dream of Mars. So we move on. So the first the first epic of the album.
No,
Second
fair
epic.
enough.
Second
Fair enough.
epic.
Aye.
No, second epic.
Second epic, okay.
Let's go.
Fuck.
Yeah. At 9 minutes 21. It is the
this could be-
dream of Murs.
This could be 90 minutes 21, and I would
And
still
you would
not
still
get
love
sick
it.
listening to it.
And it is another Gers Harris composition. And
Oh.
it may have
Don't.
the most ridiculous
opening.
intro
Yeah.
ever. Eh?
Dun-dun. Have you ever felt futuristic past? Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Theatre. That is a musical. So it is. A musical about a dream of Murs. This song, it, for many years, was my favourite song on the album.
I know it was.
Yep.
I know.
I absolutely adored it because of its complexity, right?
Yep.
Because of its complexity. After that wee tiny bit, is it really happening? Dun, 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 dun. It's pure
Yep.
theatre. Here we go.
And the
It's
acoustics
fucking
and
terrifying.
stuff. Yeah.
Diddle-diddle-diddle. Bum, 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 bum. There's so many movements in it, and then you diddle-diddle, diddle-diddle.
Yep. That wee rundown.
We
Yeah.
haven't really talked about the lyrics. I do think the lyrics are slightly nonsensical, like, but it doesn't really matter.
Well,
But the way that the music accentuates the lyrics and the melody on it is brilliant. Brilliantly thought out. Extraordinarily clever. Yeah.
we said the lyrics are nonsensical. What do you think it's about?
It's been dreamers
Because
being caught in a paradox.
is it about uncertainty in oneself?
Okay.
Is it? No?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a very introspective, I think. So what, Dream of Murs, is that not self-reflection?
Looking at
Is it
yourself?
Looking at yourself.
All right. Okay.
Don't know how I feel this way. Don't know, you know, all that kind of stuff. Is
Yeah.
it?
You know.
I'm. That's rhetorical. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Fucking brilliant.
You know, but I think it's something along those lines, but
It's very the complexity of the song. There's a lot of pieces in this song.
yeah,
Right. Lyrically, it's okay. I do things a bit nonsensical, but no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Introspective, yeah. Looking at oneself, they're of a certain age. Maybe there's a bit of reflection on what happened in the past for both sides. The dream is true.
yeah.
The dream of being back is true.
I only dream in black and white.
I only dream, yeah, like it was like normal maiden by numbers. I only dream because I'm alive. Yeah. Save me from myself. All right, fair enough.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
That
Not
kinda-
by
I
your
think
superior intellect.
I have no idea. That's kind of what I kind of thought maybe
No,
the
that's
song
fair
was
enough.
loosely about, but
Diddle-diddle.
for me the bit about this song is all the intro. It's a bit rickety, the initial.
It's
intro,
not. It's brilliant.
but it's class. It's rude,
Yeah,
is
it's
what
rude,
it is.
yeah.
And then this
Rickety.
really cool, you know, proggy acoustic thing. But it's the chorus, man.
Yeah.
It is the I only dream in black and white.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge sounding.
Yeah. From the
You know?
very onset of the
Yeah.
first iteration of it.
And Nico's snare
It
drum,
just
by the
slams,
way,
doesn't it?
is I think just sounds immense
Nico's snare drum.
Yeah.
There's another one of Nico's drums in this song, which is amazing.
in this song. Well,
Yeah.
his foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, snare drum in this song. It's like, yeah, it just sounds so big.
Yeah.
I think, you
Sounds
know.
like a bomb going off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really, really does. Like, he's hitting it. There's real weight
Yeah.
in it. You know, the stick is back to front, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, he's. But yeah, I think the chorus. I love how they kind of do that, and then this is the first gallop of the album.
Yes. I know, we're halfway through it.
We haven't had a gallop yet.
Yeah, right now.
You know, Yeah.
In a dream of mirrors, love. In a paradox.
Yeah.
Lovely twin, triple, whatever.
And then you get the chorus.
yeah.
With a gallop.
I am a dreaming black. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the bass drum and not the bass. It's whenever I don't know, did we read somewhere Kerrang or something that was one pedal? I was like, what?
Oh, I know.
No
I knew
way.
it was one pedal. Yeah. That's Nico.
No way.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. Lars Ulrich couldn't do it too.
No, we couldn't do it with 3. Yeah, it's
Solo's great in this as
immense drumming from Nico on this. Man of the match performance from
well.
Nico
Absolutely.
on that track.
This song
you
is
know,
astounding. This is a
it
real high point in this album.
I agree.
It's so good.
It's complexity. It's I kind of like that it's hard to know what the song's about.
Yep.
It's kind of something ethereal about that.
Yeah, an enigma.
But I do think it's something loosely connected with that. But it's the musicality is just superb. Sonically, it's great. Bruce sounds immense.
Yeah. I just really goes all up and down the scales, doesn't he? Like?
Yeah. There is
Yeah.
twin lead action,
Yeah,
triple lead
there
action,
is.
whatever.
Some great solos in this.
Yeah.
There's one that starts a real fucking honky band at the start. Really good.
I got a Jan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really good lead in it.
Guitar solo. Yeah.
And the way it cuts to half time sometimes.
I love that's what I love. Love
it's
that
like literally
interchange.
3 time
Yeah.
signatures in
Yeah.
there. No, not,
There's
well,
a
no,
lot-
they're not. They're all, it's all 4/4.
A lot
you
of
know.
gear shifts
Yeah.
going on. Yeah, although it's all 4/4, it's
It's
where
the
the
shift.
emphasis is and
Yeah.
the shift and the yeah, it's
Absolutely
terrific trap and
gold.
a gallop. So,
Gold.
speaking of gold,
Next.
next up is the Fallen Angel, Azazel,
Azazel is beside you and is playing the game.
Smith Harris. So this is the first Smith credit since the Wicker Man,
Wickerman, yeah.
and the only other Smith
Yeah.
credit on the album.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Um,
So, as a return to form, it's quite interesting, that, isn't it?
It's interesting
Yeah.
because you do tend to think, like we kind of said, that Adrian's back, and you tend to think he's all over it, but actually, Adrian kind of feels his way into the band again. Is my take on
He
it.
wasn't really all over Accident or Chemical Wedding.
Not
yeah.
songwriting
Sure he
wise,
wasn't.
no.
Yeah.
But what happens is, well, I think his presence on this album is the playing.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 important moments he's given songwriting wise,
Yeah.
but I think he's thickened up the sound,
Oh, yeah, totally.
and I think it certainly he worked on the low end
yeah. Uh-huh.
a lot.
Uh-huh. Well, he
and
did that with Roy C, didn't he, as well?
yeah. I'm
Used to joke
saying
about
yeah,
having the bass string as a...
yeah.
know?
But I don't know how much that was Roy and how much that was Adrian. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because Roy's pretty and he doesn't
Yeah.
need anyone to
I
give him more
beef
low
him up.
end, does it? You
Yeah.
know, whether I think Adrian maybe looked at. He's more of he's a thinker, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's probably looked at being outside the band and looked at it.
Yeah.
Looked at how Yannick and Dave had been playing together.
Yep, and it didn't sound like it was 2 separate guitars.
So a lot of times they're playing the
Yeah.
same lines
Yeah,
and playing
yeah,
the higher
uh-huh.
things.
Uh-huh.
My take on it is Adrian will have come in and do what he probably was doing when he was previously in the band,
Yeah.
was playing the lower end
Aye.
stuff, playing nice sprawling chords in
Big
places.
groove, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, digress. This is 4 minutes. The Fallen Angel.
Yeah.
It's a straight ahead, not a balls out rocker.
No.
A mid-paced classic Maiden
Yeah.
rocker.
Absolutely.
I
Could
love
have literally... Sorry, go on ahead. You go ahead.
No, you
no,
go on ahead.
You tell me. No, you go. You go.
I love the vibe of this one. It's quite a chunky riff
Yeah.
through the verse, but it's the magic of this track is in its chorus. It is just sublime, and Bruce sounds immense.
What could be you?
And it's
Yeah.
it's
I am the chosen one.
it's such a hook. It's such a hook.
Yeah. It really is. It really is. It lifts it. Like the Mercenary, it lifts it from being an also ran album track. On this album, I'd say what I was going to say was you could put The Fallen Angel on any album from the 90s and it'll be a fucking real banger. Like.
Oh, it's
Here, it falls, in my opinion, slightly short, but then you've got the lyrics, right? There's a real squally guitar solo in it as well, which is really good.
there is.
Yeah.
A really, really good solo.
Yeah.
There's actually this is a track with a Smith, then Murray, then Gers solo, so you get all three in this. And for me, it's funny you say that this one just falls short. I think this song. I think this song was close to being the single.
Right? Oh, God. You couldn't compare this.
And I think it was in consideration.
Right, okay.
And I actually think it should have been the second single. Personally, it's more of a single.
It is.
It's 4 minutes. You know, the song they ended up picking as the next single is a great song, but it's not a single. I don't think it's a, you know,
yeah.
You know, and this is back in the day. I know Maiden never got radio play anyway, but there's rock radio and all. I also think they could have made a really fucking cool Eddie out of this one.
They could have.
So yeah, I for me, I think it should. That's what it should have been.
Okay.
I think it's that good. I think it's a brilliant track, and I think it's really well crafted songwriting wise. The little lines that they add in the chorus of the back end of the song, is class. Just peppering that in. Bruce's harmonies are immense in this track. It's one of his best vocal performances on an album full of belter vocal performances. I think the power of those choruses is just right up there personally. So I love this track. It's a highlight for me
tune.
rather than one that falls short.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think it's magic.
It would be, I wouldn't skip it, but I wouldn't be overly enamored with it as much as the next track.
Yeah. So number 8 is the Nomad.
Which I think is amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Oh my God! It's old school.
9 minutes
of
and
old
6
school.
seconds. This is me.
It's the Parchment.
Yeah.
You know, it's that epic history lesson.
Yes.
You walk into that there. It's like going in to watch a movie. You know exactly what's coming.
This could be in Peace of Mind.
It could be in Peace of Mind. Could be in Peace of Mind. It could be on somewhere. It could be on any of those albums.
Now,
I think
this is Maiden
like a mirror.
do Lawrence of Arabia. I think it's what Bruce said about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great intro. So it's so atmospheric.
Totally.
This.
And I fucking love the chorus in this song.
Which one now? And now I know which one you're talking about. Now there's 2 choruses. No man. I love that one, but I know the one you love.
Yeah, I know. You know the one
you love.
No man. Yep. Love it. You're the brightest, so mysterious. Oh man!
I knew you'd love that one.
Oh, it's like
It's
pouring
class.
chocolate in my ears. Pour it in. Pour it all in.
Yeah.
That's what I want from Maiden. Historical, epic, soaring vocals.
Love it. Now, there's an interesting thing about this.
I know.
song.
I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
Do you? Go on. Are you going to say something else?
No, go on. No.
So, this song they were subject to a bit of a lawsuit thing.
Oh, really? I never knew
So,
that.
Yeah.
Right, go on
So
ahead.
there's a band called Beckett from 1974. They're like a prog rock band, right?
Yeah.
And they were managed by one Mr. R. Smallwood,
By Le Sheriff de Huddersfield.
right?
Right.
And they released a track called Life's Shadow,
Uh-huh.
and they only did one album, right?
Right.
Now,
Back.
there was litigation against Maiden for some lyrics, which are in Hallowed Be Thy Name,
Right.
which are in this song,
Okay.
and
Wow.
the instrumental part of Nomad.
Uh-huh.
So the ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
all that bit. All
Yeah.
that stuff. With a stringy bit
Yeah, yeah.
kind of thing at the end, right? And so I had to listen to it, and it sounds pretty
Oh.
pretty close. Now, what I would say is that
Ari's putting it away, the album in the back of
There's
the
no-
loft. Putting it back to the back of the... Shit.
now what I would say. Well, this is a Murray Smith, Murray Harris Nomad, isn't it?
Aye, Dave Murray would give a fuck. Just play away what he wants.
Well, what I was going to say is, there's nothing wrong with leaning on something you heard
Hey, that's
20
true.
odd years ago.
Of
Like,
course.
they've metalled it up,
Yeah.
you know.
It's a brilliant song, though.
You know, so yeah, it's been influenced by that track.
Yeah.
But I think if this is where it gets into territory with music, it's like, you know, if you want to take the first two Led Zeppelin albums, you know, and compare it to
Yeah.
a lot of Muddy Waters tracks
Yeah,
and
exactly.
stuff,
Yeah,
you know, where do you draw the line?
Totally.
You
Totally.
know? So yeah,
What are
I
your
think it's-
thoughts of this song?
I my thoughts on this song are twofold. One is the first thing that you said about this is what you want from Maiden. I love that kind of, you know, I love the Parchment
Yeah.
of Senjutsu.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like that kind of dark, brooding, heavy, historic.
Yep.
It's something old that
Yes.
they're singing about.
Yep.
And mysterious.
Yep.
I love that side of Maiden.
Yep.
I love loads of different sides of Maiden, but that's something that they do. Like, for me, it's like
Nobody does it better.
nobody does it better.
Yeah.
You know, because, well, it does what it says in the tin. The band are called Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
It's an old historic thing.
Medieval torture device.
Yeah,
Yep.
and when they switch into that mode, for me, it's like June or TT Milan.
Yeah.
Really does
Yeah.
that perfectly.
Yep.
You know, I know it's like a sci-fi thing, but it sounds like it's about something
Yes.
old and stuff. You know, Power Slave, it's perfectly.
Aye.
You know, and it's not too fast. It's not too. You know, they do when they do that kind of, yeah. So
It's quite familiar territory for them
it's
for
classic.
this album.
Mm.
An album of undoubted new ground. This is back to sort of familiar territory.
Yeah.
And it needs this
But
song.
it needs that because I suppose we'll come on to that in our conclusion.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. Of course.
But it's a really good point to raise. It's the blend of the old and the new
Yep.
here, which for me is what this album's all about.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. My only criticism of this track is that there isn't a gear shift, whereas the Parchment
Yeah.
goes into like a fast bit, or you think of maybe Revelations
Yeah.
is another
Oh,
perfect
yeah,
example
yeah,
of that
I
old
love that.
kind of
Yeah,
fit.
you know, I love
But
that.
there's
Yeah.
quite a few gear shifts in
Mhm.
it. This one they almost deliberately don't do that.
Yeah.
It's the same pace all the way through. It's just a minor thing. I wonder should they have maybe just gone somewhere with it.
I don't
But-
think they should have. I'll tell you why. Here's why. I think this album needs an anchor point.
Mhm.
Everything here is relatively new, exciting, incendiary, different
Yes.
up till now.
Mhm.
But now what we have is just an anchor point from. But we can still do this too, guys.
And it's supposed, yeah, that's
So-
a good point. Some of the other epics have so many gear changes in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Maybe this and I suppose Blood Brothers don't.
Yeah, and Blood Brothers is so odd. It's an awful thing to say for such a brilliant song, but it's not what we're used
And
to.
it's all, and
Yeah.
it's not gear changes, but I suppose mood change. I suppose
Yeah,
can be
yeah.
a bit up.
Yeah.
You know, it does have that. But this is different. But it's great. Bruce sounds epic on it.
Oh, yeah.
As well. It's the vocal performance in
Yeah.
this one. I think
Yeah. Oh.
yeah, because almost I suppose the
Amazing.
music's doing less. It's almost just chugging it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So yeah, I love this
song.
track. It's
Jinx.
I think it's great. Yeah. Number 9. It's the second single off the album, which was released on the 23rd of October. It's 6 minutes 25 long. It's written by Gers Dickinson Harris, and it's Out of the Silent Planet.
Out of this world.
And it's a brilliant,
It's a brilliant song.
track. Yes, I agree.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
A cool intro, which
12-string acoustic-y sort of, I think.
and a riff that feels very Dave Murray to me. Yeah, and I've written here, this is a Gers Dickinson Harris, but that sounds very Dave Murray to me. But anyway, it's brilliant, cool intro. The way it blends up from Nomad as well.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
the Nomad has like this synth thing.
Oh.
It drones on,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and then it fades up into.
That is very.
I really like that,
Yeah.
and that's not something that Maiden
Yeah.
have ever done before.
A segue.
Or since.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
that segue from these two songs.
Yeah.
I have kind of thought it's odd that they linked those two,
Yeah.
but it's cool. I
That is
like it.
very cool.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like I fucking love
I love this song.
Yeah,
I love
just
this song.
love it.
I mean, the
Like in the first minute, there's 3 different distinct phases.
yeah.
You've got the riff, which I still can't play at the beginning of that week. I don't know how to play it. And then you got your 12-string lush acoustic.
Yeah.
Out of the silent. And then you got
Nico coming in. Yeah.
And the chords in
It's
it.
Bruce's vocals. Man.
Yeah.
They're so
Crushed by the equilibrium. Oh my
Yeah.
God. What is that about?
I know. That would be my only criticism of the words. Is you said there was another track you said the lyrics were a bit nonsensy. It was Stream of Mirrors.
Yeah.
You said
Yeah.
the lyrics are a bit. For this,
This is what he's talking
I
about.
have no idea what it's about.
Being
Now,
out of the Silent Planet.
there is a sci-fi novel
Yeah.
called Out of the Silent Planet, but without reading that, I have no idea what this is
You know
about.
he's seen that in a bookshop somewhere and thought that is a cracking name for an album.
Yeah.
Ah.
For a track, yeah.
I get wisdom!
I see. I love that.
I love that bit.
It's the expressiveness of the vocal delivery
Some brilliant harmonies in
in
it.
this, and the harmonies.
Yeah.
You know, like Before You Know the Crime, It's All Too Late, and all that stuff. The harmonies are just immense. You know, his voice is just so powerful.
Yeah.
It's a book by C.S. Lewis. This,
All right.
so it is.
Local boy.
So
So, yeah, there's 2 verses. The rest of it is essentially Out of the Silent Planet, is what they say.
yeah,
It's not it's quite simplistic, but it's the way it's delivered. As you say, vocally is amazing. Vocally is
Yep.
so good.
and the riffs are
The
class.
riffs are brilliant. The drumming is superb. And the double kick, double time.
Is brilliant.
And there's another gallop.
Yeah,
So we've got widdly bit, acoustic, hard, intricate riffage, widdly bits, fucking double kick, gallop.
gallop. It's
Gallop,
only
gallop,
the
gallop.
second gallop.
Yeah,
There's only 2 tunes on the album
Yeah.
with a gallop.
yep.
Yeah.
So
Um,
yeah, lyrically it doesn't make a whole pile of sense.
It doesn't make any sense,
But,
lyrically at all.
No, it's the way it's delivered.
You know, less so than Dream of Mars, in my opinion.
Haggard wisdom.
Spitting out the bitter taste of hate. Isn't that IQ shit? But who knows what the book's about? Maybe if
Don't
you read
matter.
it, you'd
It
know.
don't
But
matter.
it doesn't. It
It
doesn't
does not matter.
relate.
It's so
me at all.
damn good.
I guess this is what we're saying, that on this album, Maiden sound so good and bombastic that they can get away with singing, with writing a song that the chorus says out of the silent planet. And
Out
it
of
doesn't,
the silent planet.
and it
Out of the silent planet,
we are, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. No. In fact, you're singing it. It's catchy as hell. I guarantee you tomorrow I'll be doing that in the car. Brilliant.
Now, one little thing, a side note on this one. So it's released as a single on the
Yep.
the 23rd of October. Mark Wilkinson did the artwork.
Was that like standing in front of a
Yeah, like an Eddie
lectern? Sort of thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, given just a minor thing, given the fact we'll talk about the artwork when we finish the last
Okay.
song, so the album artwork, but just the album artwork, there's been a lot of thought went into. I
Yeah.
think, right? You've seen the effort they went into. They're rebranding themselves. They're
Yeah.
branding themselves for a new era.
Yep.
A lot of effort into the promo shots and,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
you know, getting Car in and
Yeah.
all to do the Wicker Man video and all. And then they released a second single with something that looks like you and me drew it the
Fucking
night
drip
before.
fag packet. Yeah.
It's crap looking.
It isn't great. No, it is. It's a shade at it.
It's a shite, Eddie.
Yeah.
And that always, I couldn't believe when I saw
Aye.
that as the record. I still fucking bought it like at the time, but I did kind of go, what?
Yeah.
It
Why?
didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Uh-huh.
very, very strange.
Nearly like an afterthought.
I-
They're like, shit, we need to release another
yeah,
single.
really,
here.
so, like, why did they not?
What have we got? What have you got?
Why did they not know, or why did Mark Wilkinson come up with something so shit?
Yeah.
You know, by the way, the guy's a great artist. If you go onto his website, I mean, he's done some great eddies for Maiden. You know, he did the Donington Bat one.
Yeah.
He did Book of Souls, Senjutsu. You know, he's done some really cool stuff. I mean, I think a Book of Souls Eddie's fantastic.
Yeah, it is class.
But the Out of Silent Planet one,
Not that good. At
no,
all.
it's not,
No.
not good.
You're right. You're right.
So a bit weird. That I found
Yeah.
it a bit weird. It seemed half-arsed in a project and an album that everything else was so meticulously done.
T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's the only thing about it. Track 10,
Yep.
8 minutes 26.
Yep.
A Dave Murray, Steve Harris composition.
Yep.
Now, a bit of a Fear of the Dark start to this song, I think, in a good way. There's something slightly similar in the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
You know that kind of
Yeah.
pick and
Yeah.
pattern.
Absolutely.
But
Down, down, down. Yep.
for me, this song is definitely a high point.
Oh fuck! I'm so glad you said that.
This
I
song is
fucking love this song.
magnificent.
It's
It
fucking magnificent. It's fucking brilliant.
and it encapsulates. What I love about this song is
There's so many good bits.
there's
in
so
this
many
song.
good bits, but fundamentally, the thing that makes this song so good is Out of the Silent Planet's a great track, right?
Yep.
Because it sounds great, but I don't have a fucking clue what it's about.
Yeah.
But this song is about the band,
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
and it just encapsulates Brave New World.
Yep.
It encapsulates the resurgence.
Yep.
It encapsulates that they've broke up and they've got back together.
Yep.
It's just there. It's written all over it, and it's powerful, but it's also beautiful.
Yep.
Some of the lines in it, like the guitar lines when it breaks down,
Oh.
the double vocal
Yeah. Yeah.
is just, you know, the double.
Yep. I know exactly what you mean.
It is just. It is brilliant.
This
Yeah.
This song contains the vocals and lyrics that have affected me most of my life.
Really.
Yeah. See that? That's so good. can't even think.
He can't even speak.
See the way he talks about living forever. It just makes me feel, always since I first heard it, makes me feel taller, stronger. This was it when I used to go to the gym a long time ago. This was my song
Right.
for doing hard stuff.
It's like
that fucking.
there's something glorious about it, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just an unashamed celebration of this album.
Yeah.
It's an unashamed celebration of the optimism that the time had.
Optimism. Yes.
It is also an amazing performance on all counts.
From all members.
All members.
Yeah,
The
I
guitar
agree.
lines in this are fucking outstanding.
Yeah.
The leads in this song are outstanding.
Yeah.
The fills are outstanding. The drumming is brilliant.
Yeah.
And the vocals, Bruce just lifts the whole thing.
He knocks it out of the park,
Oh,
doesn't he?
like- And the
he
lyrics,
knocks it out of the silent pot.
the lyrics are amazing.
Yeah.
And they're actually quite people talk about the personableness or the sort of introspectiveness of Blood Brothers.
Yep.
This is really introspective. And it's
yeah,
not
it is.
your commoner, like a lot of these songs, they're not your traditional commoner garden Iron Maiden tune.
No, they're not. There is something personal in this, majorly. That
Yeah.
you said optimism. I think this song for me is optimism of the human spirit.
Yeah. I think it's the most upbeat Iron Maiden song
Yeah,
they've ever written.
and I mean the thin line between love and hate.
Yeah.
What a name of a song.
Yeah.
What a, you almost don't need to say anything more considering what they've been through.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, it's to write that song. Yeah, but for a band that aren't known, or certainly at this point in their career, aren't known to.
Speak from the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not what they're, I suppose, what they're known for. We talk about their historical stuff and all that there.
Yep.
Now, I know for us,
Theatre, telling a story.
for us hardcore fans, we maybe say, well, there's hallowed be thy name and all. That's someone speaking from the heart and all. I know, but talking about your actual personal emotions isn't really what the band were known for.
This is.
Steve tried to do it with the X Factor.
Yeah, he did.
And critically got panned for
Yeah.
it, I think. Whether they were trying to do it beforehand, I don't know. Were they trying to do it in Fear of the Dark? I don't know. It didn't work for me, that album, at all. But they did it here. They've done it. This is actually writing a song with real meaning,
Yep.
personal meaning. As you say, it's not the standard Maiden topic, is it?
It's epic.
It's epic.
It's epic on a different level. It's epic on a different level from Alexander the Great or Sign of the Cross. This is just unashamed joy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
look at what we've done. Look at where we've been. Look to the future in this brave new world. In all ways, the internet of the change now to be a massive stadium band, the undoubtedly untapped potential of so many different things that they probably couldn't even have dreamed of that
Yep.
we now take for granted, and just such hope and optimism.
Hope and optimism.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And like
just
freedom,
great. It's
celebrating
a
freedom
fucking
type thing. Yeah.
outstanding track.
And I also love the little at the very end.
Yeah, I don't. You're gonna say, is it the big slammy?
No.
No.
It's Nico missing his last.
Aye, and he's
and he
on
goes,
the
"Oh,
and the control. Fucked it.
I fucking missed it.
Yeah.
And then Ari Aris goes, "We'll keep that on tape." Because it's so appropriate.
Yeah.
That we did miss them. We missed it.
Yeah. Aye.
We
Aye. I never thought about that. Right. No.
Did you not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought about the
that's why-
symbolism of that.
yeah, that's why they kept it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The symbolism of it, and
Yeah.
it just, for me, it just rounds off that little anecdote just rounds off the whole album.
Yeah.
It rounds off what the whole thing's about. And actually, when you look at the songs, it's in there.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
from this song to, you know, I think Dream of Mirrors.
Yep.
And
Blood Brothers.
Blood Brothers.
Yep. Brave New World.
Brave New World.
Yep.
You know,
Bits that goes to the Navigator.
you know,
Yeah.
even a Wicker Man, your time
Yeah.
will come. You know, it's all over it. Yeah, which it's just a superb album.
Yeah. It is.
Absolutely superb.
It's unbelievably good.
Isn't it?
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It's an
Um,
absolute fucking stoner.
so before we
Do scores.
do scores, artwork.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Who did the artwork, Andy?
So the artwork, the artwork is actually a mixture, an unintended mixture, which is really really interesting. So, the original artwork was done by. They were going to call the album, I think, The Wicker Man,
Right.
and Derek Riggs did several
Yes. Yeah, permutations of that.
permutations for that with like a wicker eddy. You can Google this, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sure, with the cloud coming up off the burning thing, and it looks cool. Some of them he's a bit more boxy. Some of them he's like a wicker church type thing.
Right.
I'm sure you've seen it.
I haven't seen that now, to be honest with you.
Kind of red sky and this
Uh-huh.
you know cool burning cloud, and this
Yes.
is the face that's in the smoke.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Do you know what the image I'm talking about?
I
No?
don't, Andy, to be honest with you. I haven't done my research on the cover.
Okay.
But
so,
now I can see with this wee faces in the back here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, apparently, Rod Smallwood loved it,
Yeah.
but the band
Didn't.
didn't.
Right. Okay.
And then they decided they were going to change the name of the album
Okay.
to Brave New World.
Yep.
And
Such a
they thought it wasn't going to fit.
great choice, by the way.
So, a guy called Steve Stone.
Yeah.
Not
Not the guy who's playing for Nottingham
not
Forest.
the funny. I thought
Not the
that too.
box-to-box England midfielder.
Did this part of it?
Yep. So futuristic city of London.
Yeah.
Some landmarks are there, others aren't. Yep. Kind of
And
looks like London now.
then, hold on, I want to show you.
Oh, I've never seen that
These are
before.
all his Wicker Man
Yeah. We'll get these up on the screen
eddies.
for
We
you.
get them up on the screen, so you
Jesus,
can see
that's
that's where
class.
the Brave New World
Yeah.
from like a more boxy one.
Yep.
Which is cool looking. This is more like a, I think he said like a church, like
Yeah.
a cathedral. And
Okay.
that's a pretty poor image
Yeah,
off it
yeah.
there. And then this is another kind of, you know, you can see the Stonehenge type thing.
Yeah.
You see where he's going
Okay.
from. So yeah, those are all the
So not a
Riggs
direct
works.
left, but not too far away.
But this, what they did was they thought they had to get Riggs in there.
Yeah.
So Steve Stone took Derek Riggs'
Aye.
Cloud
Yeah.
and put that, recolored it.
Uh-huh.
So that's Riggs,
Uh-huh.
and this isn't.
Cool.
So it's a hybrid. So the point of well, I want to kind of mention that is it's the old and the new,
Yeah.
even though it
Yeah,
wasn't
fair enough.
necessarily meant that way, because what they did was initially they went to Derek Riggs.
Yeah.
But then,
yeah.
you know, they weren't, and they ended up, whether by accident or design, they ended up with a very different, but
Yeah.
cool album cover.
Yeah.
Now, I remember before this album come out, I remember Bruce being interviewed and being asked about, well, you know, what's the Eddie going to be like? And he said, might be, I don't want to give too much away, but if you think Led Zeppelin, you're not too far away.
Yeah.
I could see what he, you know, I saw when it came out, I thought, oh, I see what he means, you know. Do you like the
Not
album art?
particularly.
No?
Be one of my least favourite album covers of it, yeah.
Right, okay,
I
okay.
think the juxtaposition between the two images is too jarring.
Really?
And now I know why.
No,
Yeah.
And you know why?
Yeah.
I I
don't
think,
like no. It's a bit at the bottom. I don't particularly like. It's kind of like meh. You
right.
know?
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
You know, if there was, I don't know what would make it any better. It doesn't take it away in any way, shape, or form about my opinion about
From
the
the
album.
album. Hmm.
I actually think the photograph in the back is like excellent as well.
Well, that's your
Yeah.
man.
Car,
Yeah.
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 I love the photo in the back because they're all sort of looking up, aren't they, a wee bit?
Yeah.
It that bit is lovely, you know, to see. Yeah, I kind of see that. I get that story, and I get why it is the way it is.
Mhm.
Does it take it away from me? Not really. I just don't particularly like it. I don't think it's very interesting.
Fair enough.
I like the
It's
single covers.
interesting.
Apart from it, I like the Wicker Man single covers are cool.
Okay.
So one of them's a photo in it, but I like the one I had. It was a cool. It was the Wicker Man.
That's Wilkinson.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
cool looking. Yeah,
Um.
liked it.
So I think I prefer Derek Riggs' art.
Oh, I undoubtedly do.
You know, I think it would have made a cooler album.
The one that
Cover?
he made there, the ones that you showed me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or-
definitely. I'd have any of them over that.
Definitely, or a better Wicker Man cover
Yeah.
than the Wilkinson one.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, okay.
However, I do like this. There's something about it. I think there's something very positive about this,
Right, okay.
which I do think reflects the album really, really well. The only thing I don't like about this artwork is why they're still chopping the tail off the logo. I don't know why they do that. You know, this is an iconic logo, folks.
There it is.
I don't know why Maiden for quite a number of years were chopping these
Up
bits.
until
until
fucking
Book of
the
Souls.
I was gonna say.
you know why they did that.
Anyway.
I have no idea. That is the only thing that annoyed me about about that. It should have been the
back to
traditional
normal.
logo, back to normal.
Yeah.
But no, I like that artwork. I do.
Yeah, okay.
I think they got away with that. So I do. I really, really do.
Yeah, right.
And I think it just kind of reflects the brash, bold. It's a perfect album title.
Yeah. It is a perfect album title.
You know, they were right to change it from The Wicker Man
Yeah, totally.
to Brave New World.
Totally.
They were absolutely right. That because it just sums up the whole thing,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Yeah.
So I like it. However, I think it makes a pretty shit T-shirt.
That's another thing I don't like about it. I would never buy that
I
t-shirt.
would never buy the T-shirt either,
No.
which is odd for an Iron Maiden thing, you know. So it doesn't. Whether if it had been the Riggs one, I'd have bought it.
Yeah. Totally.
You know?
That's another thing about it.
So
Yeah. I don't think there's too much more to say about the album cover.
no,
But what I really want to know is
is
your points.
right. My points. Okay. I think I know what you're going to give it.
You know what I'm going to give this album.
I know what you're going to give
I
it.
think I know what you're going to give it to, though.
Do you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Right, you going first?
You want me to
I
go?
don't care.
You want me to go first?
Whatever sits.
I'll go. I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
So, so I was toying on this one, right?
Yeah.
Between two scores,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't. I hemmed and hawed a little bit,
Oh, right.
sort of. But I decided to give it a 10.
Yes!
I was hemming and hawing between a 9.5 and a 10.
What?
Yeah. Well, I decided for a 10.
Okay. Fair
I've
enough.
given it 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, folks.
And because if you look at Iron Maiden's career, well, first of all, it's a fantastic sounding album.
Yep.
There's not a bad song on it.
Nope.
The performances are just top notch. The production is top notch. It's one of the most important albums of their career.
Didn't read my notes.
If
Got I lost. Did you steal them?
if they didn't nail this, they wouldn't have been here. They wouldn't be here now.
Totally.
You know,
Totally.
this was
Couldn't agree more.
Bruce and Adrian come back into the band. Now seems like a very obvious thing. but at the time it was a risk
Yep.
because
Totally.
it could have not worked. It really could have not worked. So hence we were talking about Steve's suspicion and all. Or he was probably right to be suspicious or cautious or whatever.
Yep.
So I feel like this was it's probably an all or nothing move. It was either gonna, you threw everything in,
Yeah.
you threw everything at it, and it
Mhm.
worked. And they went on to have great success, which is what happened. Or that was it. They were done. Because where did they go from? You know, if it hadn't have worked, where would they have went from there? They'd have been finished.
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
So it did work, but yeah. So given that and just the excitement around the whole album,
Totally.
it fizzes off it when you listen
Yeah.
to it. You know,
Still.
still to this day, it does. Why would I have given it a 9.5? Why was I hemming and
No,
hawing?
that's my next question.
Well, I was looking at the albums that I have as 10s, and it's hard to get an album that's just flawless, isn't it? Is there
Yeah.
such a thing as a flawless album?
I don't think so.
You'll
No.
always have your own personal little
Yeah,
favorites here
yeah,
and
yeah,
there, you know. But there's probably just a couple of tracks that they're not weak tracks, but I'd say like The Mercenaries still
Yeah.
it's a really really strong track. But as you said yourself, you probably give it an 8 or an 8.5
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something. I'd probably be.
And it
yeah,
would
the
be a
same,
highlight track in any of the
7.5 or an
other
8.
canon from 1980 onwards.
Yeah. So it's a good track.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really solid track.
Yep.
Is it a superb track? No, but you're not gonna get every track be absolutely superb. Is it? You know, is it? Maybe I think the Nomad. Maybe goes on a wee bit for me. At times, it depends if I'm in the right mood. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Apart from that, my only other criticism is perhaps, but this is me being unashamed, that Ghost of the Navigator and Brave New World are a bit similar in pattern.
Right.
Intro, build, go, intro, but they're different songs, but there's something a bit similar, and that's it. And that's really nitpicking.
Yeah.
Just you're saying why a 9.5?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a 9.5 still a 9.5. It's extraordinarily high, but given just an album is a snapshot of where a band is at any particular time, so you judge them on right where. So I asked myself, did Iron Maiden deliver the best album that they absolutely possibly could have at that time? Well, yeah, they
did.
exceeded expectations. They
Yeah.
exceeded everybody's expectations.
Totally.
You know, it's an amazing album.
It is.
You know, do I? You, yeah, I don't know. I'd probably not say anything else. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an amazing album. It gets a 10. I was just hemming and hawing because I just given Chemical Wedding a 10, and I think Chemical Wedding slightly shades it on it, but
Right.
it's a very very very. But that's an
Okay.
outstanding album.
Yeah.
And they're different, but it's a phenomenal album, and I love it.
It is indeed.
And yeah, and there's no more to say. It's just a brilliant Iron Maiden album, right?
10.
10. Yes, no
course,
surprises.
none-
I knew
no
it. Remember?
surprises.
Yeah.
10. Is it my favourite Iron Maiden album? No. But it, to my opinion, and I agree wholeheartedly, lock, stock and barrel with every single thing you said,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't need to go over anything else, really. But what I will say about this album is that it is, without peer, Iron Maiden's most important album,
Yes.
for many of the reasons which you said.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is the midpoint of their career now, when you look at it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right bang in the middle. There will never be anything like the pressure, expectation, probably negativity
Mm-hmm.
that was directed at the band at this stage when this album was about to come out. And
Yeah.
there's never ever been a greater musical triumph.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. And people forget that.
I think in music,
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a comeback.
Like who
Like,
who has come back and done anything? And fuck metal, any genre.
yeah, I would say what Johnny Cash. There's
He never
someone.
went away.
Well,
He
Johnny
never
Cash.
broke up with himself.
He never broke up with himself, but he was in the doldrums. Say
Yeah, but no, I
commercially.
mean bands really.
Yeah.
I mean bands.
Okay, fair enough.
Right,
fair
no,
enough.
I don't agree with that. I'm thinking a band somebody who was fucking finished, like done.
Okay.
Right. This is unparalleled, and what this has done is it's timing. So I said right at the very start of this, Psalm 41, Papa Roach or whatever. The next year was when they started to come out, 2001,
Yep.
and they all we reared on Maiden, loved Maiden, and what that did was by fate, luck, or design, it springboarded the already massive groundswell of fuck, this album is amazing. Shit, did you see them playing there? To the stratosphere. So arguably from 2000 to 2025, they're more successful.
Yep. Yeah, they're bigger than they've ever been.
Their
Yeah.
output is halved in that time,
Yeah.
roughly.
Yeah.
But that's the culture of the music industry.
yeah.
They
They're also
when-
really productive over the 10-year spell from this album comes out.
yeah, okay. Till what's it called?
I
13.
mean, Final
Frontier,
Frontiers
that's it,
released
yeah.
in 2010, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So they released 4 studio albums over the next 10 years. That's pretty good going.
Yeah.
You know, it's been since then, I think, that
Aye.
for various
Reasons,
yeah.
yeah. But it's a purple patch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just unashamedly brilliant.
Yeah.
Unashamedly brilliant. It's what the world needed, and it didn't realize it needed it that much.
Yeah, and I totally agree.
And
That-
I was always going to give this album a 10, right? It was always my next 10. And there's more 10s coming. But I would think this is the most significant 10. And the world is such a better place for having Maiden in it. And I know
Yep.
with everything that's happened, it's not going to have it for much longer, which makes this even more
yeah,
great.
yeah, because we mightn't have had all the music that we
Yeah.
have had since then. if
Yeah,
it wasn't
that's
for this.
it. That's
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah.
it.
I think totally agree with everything you've said there. What I meant about Johnny Cash was just he was in the doldrums. I seen it. It was probably in my mind because I watched the thing with Rick Rubin
Oh, right, okay.
being interviewed by Rick Beato.
Yeah, I'm halfway through
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And he talks about Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And just like he was like playing in like chicken bars and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You know that.
Okay.
You know where people
Yeah.
are sitting eating food
Fair enough.
and stuff. He was on his arse.
Yeah.
Basically, you know.
Okay.
And had the when he contacted Johnny Cash said to him, "Why would anyone want to listen
Out of me.
to me?"
Yeah.
You know. So it was finished.
Yeah.
You know, why would you want to make a record with me?
Yeah.
Was kind of the response that he got.
Yeah.
And well, he did, and look how
Yeah.
it turned out.
It was class.
More successful than ever.
Yeah.
So that was the analogy or the
Yeah.
comparison.
No, fair enough.
It is one of the greatest, and as bands are concerned, you're absolutely right.
Did the Beatles ever get back together?
No, and there's other bands that've got together and they've just done it in a shit way, or
Yep.
you know.
100%.
There's no, I can't think of a rock band that have got back together or a metal band that have got back together and done what Iron Maiden have done.
No.
And, you know, Guns N' Roses got back together. They haven't done anything. All they've done is
Play
tour.
the same old shit.
Done anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's no comparison.
Absolutely not.
For example, you
Yeah.
know, this album is the template for the next 20 odd years as well.
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing
Yes,
that's
that's
really
a very
significant
very good point.
about this
Totally.
album. Because
Proggy.
it's proggy.
We're getting there.
It's.
They're getting longer.
Do you know how long this album lasts?
I have no idea.
66 minutes.
Oh wow.
It's like it's written in the stars, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, how did they make that happen?
Exactly.
It's
Very long.
class. It's class. But it is the template for these big, progressive, expansive Maiden albums where actually what they've done. Maiden up to Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, Maiden had a winning formula.
Yep.
And that was 8, 9, maybe 10 songs.
Yep.
Usually eight or 9. And you finished off with an epic.
Yep.
Right? That was pretty much it. Then they have an identity crisis. They start going, oh, we'll have to strip it.
change.
We'll have to strip it down.
Strip it back. Shorter songs.
Right, shorter
Yep.
songs. That's
Yep.
no prayer for the dying. Fear of the dark. They don't know which way they're going.
Yep.
I
Don't know
don't
whether they're
think.
blown up or stuffed.
Aye, you
Yep.
don't know if they're Arthur or Martha. They don't. It's a bit all over the place, isn't it? We're not keen on that
Yeah.
album. So
It's
Adrian's
shit.
gone.
Yeah, yeah.
Then Bruce is away, and the X Factor is actually an attempt. Then Steve turns around to progressive.
Yeah.
And he tries to, well, he doesn't try to. He makes a longer, more progressive album. All these proggy influences
Yep.
and longer songs and all this
Yep.
kind of stuff. Then Virtual 11, it's back to we'll try and make something shorter. It's a bit all over the place
Yep.
again. It's identity crisis
Yep.
again.
Yep.
Now they're back, and it's right. This is what we're going to do. It's
Yep.
big proggy
Yep.
things. We're going to write songs. We don't give a shit if we have. How many songs are epics from this? 4?
Not that many. Not as many as I thought.
But it's
So,
more than their
Thin Line
heyday,
is
which
10
was
minutes.
1.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Is my point.
Nomad. Dream of Mars and Epic too.
So,
Blood Brothers.
Blood
4.
Brothers.
4.
Yeah.
Just 4.
So 4, isn't it?
4. Yeah. It's 4.
See, 4 epics in one album, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, another few that are
Like
That are
not kicking
6.
the arse to 7 minutes.
yeah, you know,
Navigator,
1,
Brave
2,
New World.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Silent Planet.
you've only the 3-4 minuters.
Yeah, when you look at the next album, I suppose it follows a similar format. Doesn't it? Seekers.
This is the path now.
Dance to Death. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this is the template
Yeah.
that Maiden will follow.
Yeah.
You know, it's the new normal.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's also the reason why it has to get a 10 because it just sets the direction of travel,
Yeah.
doesn't it? And in saying that, it opens doors because you're not stuck then on a. I mean, of course they have to sound like Iron Maiden, but I think what this album has managed to do is it's widened the palette of sounds a bit with its production. You think of Blood Brothers,
Yeah.
the sounds that are on it. Like you
Yep.
said, that is a song unlike anything they've done
Yeah.
before.
Absolutely.
And there's probably some other songs. I don't think The Thin Line Between Love and Hate's a song that
Yeah,
is
that's
really like
exactly.
anything else
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had done
Or
before.
since,
either,
really.
or
Yeah.
since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there's
Yeah, fair
there's
enough.
new territory in this album, as well as familiar territory
Yep.
in this album, and that's what they managed to kind of combine.
Yeah.
But it also means that moving forward, they're a band that are comfortable in being Iron Maiden,
Yep.
but that know that they can explore some new sounds,
Yeah.
and that's I think a real strength.
Yeah.
If they didn't make an album like this, that would have been harder to have moved towards
Yeah,
next
uh-huh.
time round.
Yeah,
But they've done it right
absolutely,
from the
yes.
off, you know.
Totally right. Yeah. Get that. Unreal.
So yeah, so that's
Yeah. That's.
brave new world.
I've waited so long to do that.
You've been really excited
Yeah, I've
about
been
doing this
really
one for
looking
such a
for
long
that
time,
for
haven't you?
years.
But
And
yeah,
we've done it. It's done.
and it was so cool that just listening to it with the thinking about it
Yeah. Yeah.
head on. I
Yeah.
don't know about you, but
Yeah. Absolutely. And just with everything that's happening and it's going to happen,
yeah,
it's just it's just the perfect time to do this.
It is. It is the
You know,
greatest musical comeback.
The
ever.
greatest musical comeback ever. The best timed album ever.
Yeah.
You know, well, 66 minutes. But yeah, so yeah.
And do you think? I think it's just a final word.
Yeah.
I'd say on it. Was you said their backs against the wall and stuff like that. You know, nobody saw it. 1998. No one would have saw this coming.
Yeah. Listen to Chemical and you wouldn't have thought it was
No.
coming.
It's
Yeah.
such on Virtual 11.
Yeah.
It's such a quantum leap. I think that's the
Yes,
thing
it
that
is.
always gets me about this album is it's such a leap.
Yeah.
It sounds like a completely different band
It's
in quite a lot of
you know,
ways.
it's such an ingenious move.
Everything's been done.
It's literally just on the cusp of reunion tours and all that there within Mel. And just on the cusp of, like I've said, those second generation fans with their Maiden t-shirts
They're-
on. You know, that is all coming back. And within 18 months to 2 years, it's absolutely huge. And all it does is to drive more revenue for the band, which is great for the band. But, you know, it's just, it's a 21st century way of looking at marketing and recording and releasing and touring and all that there. And, you know, it's just a brave new word.
Isn't it? I think that is the way to finish
Yep.
finish off. And I hope you have enjoyed.
2
This-
hours and 10 minutes. Wow.
It's like the album an epic.
It is. It's unashamedly epic.
So we're going to cut this episode here.
Yep.
You will be glad to hear if you have sat through all of that.
God love your arse.
Fair
Because
play to you.
mine's in tatters. No.
But we will return
Yep.
with a Rock in Rio.
So yeah, what that's going to look like,
review.
I'm not really sure. What we'll do, I'd love to do a watch along.
I think we'll watch. Yeah.
Watch and
We'll
then sort
watch
of
the
chip in our thoughts at the end. But
yeah.
crack,
We'll
bit
watch
of
watch the
fun.
Rock in Rio gig
Yeah.
and
Bit
do
of
that
fun.
kind of thing.
So like
just
Pink Floyd and the Wizard of Oz, you can push play and we tell you to because we do the same thing.
do that kind of a thing. Yeah. yeah. So we'll look forward to that.
Yep.
And yeah. Happy New Year, and we'll see you soon.
Up the irons! Woohoo! First 20!